personal with monsters, trading mace blows and shotgun blasts in a boxing match
Check,
from
check,
hell.
check. Okay, we live. We got 2 hours and 30
Projectiles
minutes.
move more slowly, choking the battlefield with patterns that evoke bullet hell shmups.
It's going
and
down. The
serious sand.
Sony State of
Glory
Play.
kills are a
Man,
shadow of their
we got some
former,
predictions.
well,
We need to
glory,
know what's
taking
going on.
a
We
backseat
need to see
the
some
new rhythms
Wolverine.
of the Dark Ages'
We need to see
combat.
some Kingdom Hearts 4. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, man. Cause I seen new screenshots of Kingdom Hearts, and it's looking good, man. Sora looked better than the last time we seen him, like almost 4 years ago.
It's the backbone around which the game is designed, and while it may not click with everybody, once you're locked in, there's nothing quite like charging buckler first across the battlefield to smash some skulls. The Dark Ages brings a few firsts to the franchise, like friendly NPCs fighting alongside the Slayer, and difficulty sliders to make the series more accessible. It's also the first game since Doom 64 to lack any kind of multiplayer. The Slayer trilogy's online components may have been a noble but largely perfunctory effort. id decided to ditch it entirely and focus on making the most compelling campaign they could, exchanging multiplayer and snap map for dragon riding and giant mechs. You have to give modern id credit, they just will not make the same game twice. Doom Eternal is everything a fan of Doom 2016 would expect from a sequel, and while the vibe is different from its predecessor, the whole experience feels more vibrant and alive. The Doom franchise isn't exactly known for its awe-inspiring vistas and diverse biomes, but Eternal impressively mixes snow levels and Baroque ivory fortresses in with the usual tech bases and fleshy hellscapes. We're not used to seeing this kind of environmental variety in Doom, and it's a refreshing change of pace. When it comes to combat, Doom Eternal asks a lot more of you than 2016. Ammo is much more scarce, forcing you to juggle through most of your weapons in nearly every fight. Choosing the right gun for the right enemy and exploiting their weak spots is essential, though some fans argue that the Marauders, dark Doom Guy counterparts with a limited vulnerability window, are a bridge too far for the power fantasy.
Warning, all armed personnel. The mortally challenged have entered the compound. Evacuation is advised.
Doom Eternal's biggest flaw, perhaps, is that it's doing too much. Doomslayer has new guns and enemies to deal with, a meat hook to yank yourself across the battlefield, and a shoulder cannon with grenades and bombs and fire belches that are crucial for survival, on top of an avalanche of additional collectibles, resources, and upgrade trees. Even the Slayer himself has gotten a little too big for his armored green britches, having somehow come into possession of a massive outer space fortress between games, a vast hub to explore that has plenty of great Easter eggs and secrets, but also a lot of locked doors and samey looking hallways to get lost in. Speaking of getting lost, Doom Eternal suffers under a sheer mountain of lore. Endless paragraphs of indecipherable sci-fi fantasy with more proper nouns than a phone book are at your bloody fingertips. To some, it's a welcome addition that makes the series that much richer. For others, it's an albatross around the neck of Doom's action-first ethos. Start shooting as soon as the screen melts. It's an excellent sequel, superior to its predecessor in many ways, but as a total package, it falls just slightly short of what came before. Doom 2016 is the platonic ideal of Doom. It marries the kinetic and aesthetic purity of the original with a winking, self-aware tone that evokes not just the first game's hurt me plenty attitude, but society's perception of the series. This is the Doom we envisioned in our adolescent brains. It's the Doom of the infamous 90s comic, the ultra-violent nightmare that Jack Thompson and Joe Lieberman warned us about, and it is glorious. But Doom 2016 almost didn't happen. Marty Stratton and Hugo Martin salvaged Doom 4 from the shores of development hell by stripping it into a back-to-basics, gleefully indulgent romp that fully rekindles the lost soul of the series. It's no coincidence that the retro boomer shooters comeback began right around Doom 2016. The aggressive, push-forward gameplay has you leaping onto cacodemons in midair as Mick Gordon's impossibly detuned guitars belch out riffs of pure hype. It's here we first see the glory kills, expanded on in future sequels, but never quite as elegant as their debut. Keep it simple is the operative phrase of Doom 2016, and sometimes to its detriment. Unlike later games, there's little incentive to cycle through your weapons. It's easy to let the rockets or the SSG carry the Spider Mastermind. Still, the bare-bones approach is appreciated, particularly when it comes to the plot. It was John Carmack who famously compared video game stories to those of X-rated movies. Quote, "It's expected to be there, but not important." Doom 2016's less is more approach is extremely refreshing after the dense metal hurlant nightmares of its sequels. The storytelling is never really bad in Eternal or the Dark Ages, but also never quite as funny as the Doomslayers seething with impatient rage as exposition drones on. It took some huge guts to name the 2016 reboot simply Doom, but that very confidence is what propels this game to greatness. There's only one shooter in the world that could possibly top Doom 2016. But first, no evaluation of Doom would be complete without a tip of the hat to the legions of modders and map designers who have truly made the game their own. Carmack designed the Doom engine to be easily altered, with assets conveniently packaged into files called WADs for Where's All the Data. This enabled everything from custom levels to total conversions. You can play Zelda in Doom, visit Jerry Seinfeld's apartment, blast through breakfast cereal in Chex Quest. The possibilities were limitless, especially once the engine went open source. Games like Brutal Doom and Sulaco can look shockingly modern on ancient id tech, while MyHouse.wad uses the engine's infamous quirks to weave a non-Euclidean liminal nightmare. Doom is an awesome open source success story, and the community and careers it's inspired over the decades is a huge part of the series' legacy. The original Doom has more than earned its spot on the Mount Rushmore of first-person shooters. Anyone can pick up the game today, whether through a fan-made source port or an official re-release, and immediately understand the assignment. Run, gun, rip, and tear. Find keys and snag power-ups to keep Doom Guy alive as he stares bullets through your soul from the UI. There's no mouse look in the original Doom. Aiming on the Y-axis literally
Yo, Skittle, what's up, what's up?
And you can hit that imp on a ledge above you as long as it's centered on your gun.
Oh, your summer break is here? Okay, that's cool. Yo, so guess what, man? Today is the day. PlayStation is about to show some new games. And we gonna stream it together. We here to we gonna do it together here, man.
Look, you need that. I'm not going nowhere.
Yes, sir. We're gonna see some new games today. I'm excited. I mean, I am too. I was thinking about buying Kingdom Hearts today, but Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. But I don't know if I should, because I just bought Final Fantasy X and X2. I can teach you how to stream, dog. It's easy. It's easy. Streaming this, it's easy. It's a sad footnote in an otherwise unparalleled success story and a formative moment in gaming history that helped shape a still developing industry. At the start of every new project, current developers at id play through the original Doom to refamiliarize themselves with its brilliance and look for interesting new ways to expand the formula. Every
every single entry on this list
Finn.
is in some way a response to the first game, either trying to recapture its glory or recreate what makes it fun. Some games succeed, others have faltered, but they're all chasing after perfection that was already achieved in 1993. Doom is still the best Doom.
In the prehistory of 1997's original Grand Theft Auto, an earlier gameplay concept that was being noodled on within the halls of DMA Design initially would have had us playing as police. Eventually, the core was...
It's cool, bro. Long as you tuned in, man. This going down, man. This is a big event today, man. This is PlayStation's keynotes of the year, you know?
GTA as we know it was born, and a bazillion in sales later, it's hard to argue they made the wrong decision. However, nearly 3 decades down the track, the precinct has arrived to show us that there actually is a way to make upholding the law just as engaging as breaking it in an old-school GTA-inspired sandbox city. The precinct may be a modestly sized package overall, and the crime-busting gameplay loops it throws at us do eventually become a little samey and worn over its roughly 12-hour campaign, but its isometric, grimy 80s aesthetic is absolutely excellent. And there's a real novelty in patrolling the rain-slick streets, seeking to chip away at Averno City's never-ending supply of miscreants, mobsters, and malefactors. Setting the precinct in the 80s is the single best decision developer Fallen Tree Games has made here. There's no cybercrime, social media or mobile phone nonsense cluttering up proceedings. Rather, it's a world detached from all manner of modern crap. It's just you, your partner, and a radio.
Central to all units, bank robbery in progress. Mercer ACB Bank on Mercer Street, shots fired.
Precinct is nothing if not an earnest and distinctly 20th century cops and robbers playground. And it's all the better for it. It's like an old TV show.
Okay, kid. You wanted the real deal? This is it.
I feel my CD collection would probably make it clear I understand that police accountability is not a new debate by any stretch, but hey, even Henry Rollins found a way to go from spraying cops with Black Flag lyrics to playing cops in The Chase and Bad Boys 2.
For me, it's the respect and power that the position commands.
The precinct just wants to let us screech in, sirens blazing, and save the day. This is not a game that attempts to grapple with controversy or the seedier side of 80s policing. It's an idealized portrayal of cops and how they're supposed to properly protect and serve, rather than a commentary on how they actually do it.
Nothing flagged in the system. They're clear.
All right, cool. All right.
It's an action-packed ode to iconic 1980s police procedurals and movies. Every day would be the busiest and most dangerous day of any actual cop's career. Baddies are cuffed and booked without delay.
Good catch.
And the city will never run out of squad cars, no matter how many you destroy.
Shots fired.
No one would realistically continue to live in the precinct's Averno City by choice. It's chaos. It'd be like living in the last 15 minutes of the Blues Brothers every hour of every day, as countless squad cars crash through crumbling concrete in their relentless pursuits of the city's brazen crooks. The cop fiction cliches are certainly all here. You can check off the young, idealistic rookie partnered with a jaded veteran counting the weeks until his retirement.
Welcome to the ACPD, kid.
Mustachioed chief.
You're gonna have to learn the streets and the precinct the same way these mooks did. Are we clear?
And an officer named Kowalski.
All right, squad. Let's get out there and make Averno City proud.
I do wish the script had a bit more of a natural spoken word flow to it, though. As it stands, it tends to sound a little overwritten and hammy, and some of the voice acting comes over a bit corny as a result.
Fascists! You think we don't see what you're doing? This is an obvious ploy to suppress our message!
If the precinct really was a TV show, it unfortunately wouldn't be in line for any of Hill Street Blues' 26 Emmys.
You got the right to remain silent. Unless you want the rest of your face kicked in, I'd strongly advise you to exercise that right.
Fortunately, the hokey dialogue does little to detract from what it gets right, and I was very quickly hooked into its cadence of daily shifts on the beat. These can be pounding the pavement on foot, with your eyes peeled for vandals and violence.
Arrest her!
They can be cruising the streets, prowling for carjackers, or watching for the telltale weaving of a drunk driver.
Tess says they're intoxicated.
There can even be aerial missions where you're hovering above the city in a chopper, catching crooks in your spotlight and calling in backup to effect arrests.
Dispatch, I need backup here.
There's a great amount of variety in the types of crimes being committed, which is unfortunate for Averno City's victimized citizens, but good for us as the emergent missions essentially never stop.
Ah, contraband.
I did eventually reach a point where the busts began to feel a little repetitive, but this wasn't until I was quite close to the end of the roughly 12 hours I spent completing the core story. The procedural street crimes continue after the credits roll, but I suspect I'll leave the precinct sweating in the interrogation room for now, and come back to it later if it has anything further to offer me down the track, like fresh cases or different street crimes in a potential future update.
Target is down.
The action occurs both on foot and in vehicles, so whenever you're not airborne over the city, a typical shift will involve hoofing it after some suspects before tackling and subduing them,
Cover up, Boot.
and high-speed paint trading car chases to catch others. Those car chases are terrific thanks to the precinct's strong handling model. Vehicles may appear cute and toy-like on screen thanks to the elevated isometric camera angle, but they're not sticky.
Just kind of look like Grand Theft, like a Grand Theft Auto.
sense of weight as you hurl their all-American bulk into handbrake turns to negotiate.
Old school Grand Theft Auto would look like.
When a gaggle of squad cars with sirens blazing close in on a fleeing perp all at once, there are times when the precinct reminds me more of the original Driver than the old
Driver, I had that game.
The original Driver is viewed from a low-flying drone, that is.
Finn.
The range of era-correct look-alike vehicles is spot on too, from off-brand Mustangs and Cooters to A-Team adjacent Vanduras and the classic boxy third-gen Caprice cop cars I've seen Hollywood crash 1,000 of over the years. The precinct places a clear focus on following correct procedure, and you'll learn fewer experience points if you make errors or stray from the rules.
Hold your fire.
This will mean leveling up delays and slower access to the upgrade trees if you go rogue and accost people before checking their ID, attack civilians, use inappropriate force on perps, or issue bogus parking tickets.
Doesn't look right to me.
You won't lose XP from your banked total, but being a bad cop will wipe out your daily gains. Most of the upgrades are fairly typical: resilience to attacks, greater ammo capacity, and the like. But naturally, it pays to have as many as you can when you find yourself in a shootout.
He's shooting.
The abilities to call in heavy-duty riot vans and roadblocks are definitely useful in helping end pursuits too.
Suspect is in custody.
Yo, what's good, Brody?
It's one you can go quite deep with if you really
Okay.
want to control
Okay. Shout out to my dog, man. My dog Dwayne in the chat. What up?
personally to the station, which will
Yes, sir. Hey, what's your predictions for today, bro?
This part of the process can be automated, however.
Hey, mine's what I'm hoping for, bro, is
Keep things moving.
Kingdom Hearts 4 and Wolverine. Those are the two I want to see, bro. Like the most. Those are my dice gambles.
Generally do unfold the same way. You ID your suspect, search them for weapons and contraband, and then arrest them, find them, or let them go. It's a system that wears a bit thin by the story's conclusion because there aren't enough variables or surprises to separate one from the next.
You have the right to remain silent.
It's also always a little unsatisfying when it seems to misread the situation, such as when some scumbag is trying to run me over with their car and it scolds me for using my gun to defend myself.
Dispatch to 84, message received.
Yeah.
I'm a loose cannon.
Yeah, I just announced it yesterday.
At least let me charge them with trying to kill me.
Good thing I was on top of stuff, man. Yo, I kept checking all day yesterday, dog, and before Summer Game Fest started, like just to see when they was doing a state of play, and they wasn't announcing nothing. Bro, I'm surprised like they doing theirs before Xbox because they usually wait for Xbox. to do theirs, and then they'll like do theirs off of Xbox. They want to see what Xbox is doing.
Focus on proper arrest protocols and penalising excessive force requires a certain level of patience that not everyone will possess, and it's a system.
Yeah, but I hope it's a good one today though, because they haven't had a good state of play in a while, bro. But I hope this one is good. I'm ready, boy. I got my Monster Energy drink ready. I got it getting cold in the fridge. Yeah, we gon'. Yes, sir. I'm not gonna do IGNs. I'm just streaming now through IGN's page because they show a lot of other games and stuff before the events start. The PlayStation page, it just shows their channel. It just shows the you know, the state of play cover thingy. So, you know, I wanted anybody that's coming in just to, you know, go ahead and see some new stuff that's coming out. Oh, yo, I gotta play this right here, dog. It's on Game Pass. I'm gonna check it out. I haven't played my Xbox in a while, but I'm gonna check it out this week definitely. This game looks beautiful.
Expeditioners. The Sword of Lumiere.
Yeah, the Expedition 33. I gotta check this out.
We honor your dedication.
In Clair Obscur, the people of Lumiere live in a fractured reality. Every year, a godlike figure they call a paintress marks a number on a tower far off in the distance, counting down the age at
let me
which
put
people
the
will perish
camera
into nothingness. You lead the survivors
on
to the
this
latest in a
side
series of
of the
annual
channel.
expeditions that set sail in hopes of destroying the paintress, none of which have ever come back despite decades of attempts.
Know that Lumiere stands with you.
It's a harrowing premise that hangs a heavy layer of melancholy over the entire story. Knowing that your people are fighting,
Yeah, that would be dope.
Signing up for a death march, facing unknown dangers, and picking up the pieces left behind by expeditions long gone, it's easy to become.
Yo, shout out to Inferno, man. Shout out to Inferno. Shout out to Retro. Shout out to my boy Deadly Force. Yo, I hope them boys pop in. We got some shit going today. Yes, sir. I got the Discord, bro. So I have my own server on here and stuff. So yeah, hey. So Dwayne, I know you work a lot and everything, bro. But hey, I want you to be like an admin on there too, like an admin and a moderator, and then you know help me run it, and, bro. Cause you came up with the idea, which is a superb idea, bro.
Let's go. Someone lives.
Yeah. That would be dope, man. A new Metal Gear. That would be super dope.
Clair Obscur's combat system never dulls. The Persona vibes from its slick battle menu and stylish flourishes are unmistakable. The more prominent is its active element. Real-time button inputs boost potency and special attacks and let you dodge and parry enemy attacks, which works wonders for making fights engaging.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I got a lot of friends on here too. Like my friends list is kind of lit right now on Discord. Yeah, a lot of people been adding me on there. My daughter, she's gonna come on the stream too, like in the maybe like an hour. Me and her, I'ma route the audio from Discord to PlayStation so we could talk through Discord, cause she's gonna be on the chat with me. I mean on the stream talking.
To execute the more heavy-hitting attacks. Their skill trees are concise, so Clair Obscur is still approachable.
Dang, this game look beautiful.
Tools, and then are asked to have a strong grasp of how they work, with the emphasis on meeting certain conditions and inflicting specific knock-on effects to make the most of when you're lining up attacks. It reminds me of mechanics that you'd see in a CRPG, but fine-tuned for a classic-style Japanese RPG. The way their skill sets can synergize and play off of each other also shows an understanding of what makes a turn-based system sing. You may establish a routine opener, but as a fight goes on, it becomes more about adapting to all the variables thrown at you and earning the satisfaction of pulling off your most powerful attacks. Then there's another layer called Pictos. These attachments offer game-changing stat boosts and perks that drastically affect how you can gain AP, the bonuses you get from dodges and parries, or the way status effects work, and more. Using Pictos for long enough eventually allows you to stack their perks in what are called luminaries.
Oh, okay.
And really build a character in ways their skill tree.
Yeah, I could do that right now.
Navigating these menus is kind of a pain since things get messy once you're sifting through 50 plus options packed in a tight screen. But when it all clicked, taking the time to configure my party was well worth the hassle. Setting the right loadout elevated my party in ways that were crucial for the most challenging fights. My biggest worry early on was actually that Claire Obscure was going to be too easy as I steamrolled almost every enemy for roughly the first third of the main path. It definitely ramps up as it goes on, however, weaving in more creative enemy attack patterns and doing more with status effects or enemy shields, for example, pushing me to try out new approaches with my party. That provides depth while staying concise, and if you're clever enough, you're even allowed to break the game, so to speak, as its systems let you scale up in a way that's rewarding rather than exploitative. All that is to say, I played these kinds of RPGs my entire life, and I'm confident in saying that it's one of my favorite turn-based combat systems ever. It has room to grow, but it's a brilliant start. There's something very old school about Claire Obscure, and its overworld is one of the clearest ways in which it harkens back to classic RPGs. The map is filled with optional locations and secrets, many of which aren't accessible until you unlock new travel methods, similar to getting chocobos and airships in the Final Fantasy games of yore. It's actually really charming, embracing its video gamey aspects while knowing it doesn't have to always take itself so seriously. Distant landmarks create a sense of wonder, and eventually you can go visit them to fight super bosses or play silly minigames for unique items or uncover a bit more about the story you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And that side content accounts for roughly another 20 hours of gameplay on top of the main story. There's no real quest log, so there isn't an elegant way to track what you stumble upon, but rather than feeling obtuse, it gives the impression that these secrets are yours to discover in true throwback fashion. The main locations you visit function like dungeons where you fight your way along a fairly direct track with extra items tucked in nooks and crannies off the beaten path. You approach and hit enemies to initiate combat, and they respawn if you decide to replenish your health and items with flags planted by previous expeditions that function like checkpoints. Exploration is limited in this regard, but it helps each of these main story sequences stay focused. For as linear as the main path could be, minimaps still would have been handy just to keep track of the alternate paths I've already gone down, because sometimes it's easy to get lost. It is a consolation that every place you visit is visually striking, whether it's the ethereal whimsy and natural beauty, or the brutality of the trenches and battlefields where bodies of past expeditioners are piled high. Regardless, I was often in awe of Claire Obscure's world.
That music is good.
What etches an RPG into the pantheon of greats, however, is always going to be its story. My heart was all in on Claire Obscure's themes of facing mortality, making sacrifices for future generations, and the different ways we handle grief.
I'm sorry about earlier.
This is another harrowing exploration of topics like this, for the way it contextualizes time and age, but also for its portrayal of grief becoming destructive to those around you, should it consume you. Its brevity does work against it at times, as the story shifts in sudden directions later on, but even then, it's consistently carried by an A-list cast. The acting and voice performances are incredible, with dialogue that plays out like natural real-life conversations.
I talked to the stars a lot after he was gone. I remember.
Small gestures, subtle expressions, and the cadence of line deliveries ground its characters for a story that feels as real as it is fantastical.
I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward.
You swore the oath. When one falls, we continue.
Yes, I know.
Despite its deeply sad premise, it also manages to inject some levity that is largely charming rather than forced. Silly wooden guys called gestrels occupy most of the continent, working as both comic relief and a lens to understand unknown parts of the world. Your party will goof with each other and share parts of their personal lives at camp, and while not all of it is riveting stuff necessarily, those brief moments are vital for rounding out the human element that this story channels.
Ooh, nice one.
I know.
Admittedly, there are moments in which Claire Obscure embellishes in its sorrow a bit too much. It perhaps gets a little overdramatic at times, but it's able to find its footing by evoking a very specific tone that leans heavier into what you'd expect more from a theater production than a Hollywood blockbuster. And from that perspective, playing out like a classical tragedy is an integral part of its identity.
We can't bring anyone back. But I thought we can keep their spirit alive by...
I'm trying to connect
Feels like an expression of French art history.
my I think I gotta do it through PlayStation.
Artistic foundation. Its It's not just in the distinct Belle Époque aesthetic or the French phrases characters use, but it's in the motifs that invoke theater, painting, dance, and music, which are woven into the very fabric of this fiction.
Trying to
with music being the
route
most
everything
powerful
to the PlayStation.
Like every
The
great
audio.
RPG, an evocative soundtrack can uplift it to become a truly memorable experience, and Sandfall understood the assignment. There's almost too much good music that certain songs didn't get enough time to stick in my head, but at every turn are amazing songs that hype you up for battle, get you in a groove with catchy melodies, or set the tone for a wistful atmosphere. Clair Obscure's soundtrack is stunning, and will be one of the reasons I won't forget this game.
Game got a good soundtrack.
In so many ways, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 reminded me of numerous classic and modern RPGs I love, but developer Sandfall truly understood why those games are special and made those pieces its own. Its creative turn-based combat system is fantastic, keeping me engaged while impressive visual flourishes bring it all together. The story can be a touch messy and melodramatic at times, but there's still an earnestness to how it frames mortality and grief, and the different and destructive ways we may handle it, all delivered through fantastic performances from an A-list cast that gives its story the heart it needs to really hit. The contrast between its artistic sensibilities and old-school RPG design philosophy shows a clarity of vision, as if it was scoped just right to focus on the things that matter most, making it a true modern throwback. And so, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 stands strong alongside its inspirations, and I hope that it too can be an inspiration for those who come after.
You ever wonder who the first person to put peanut butter and chocolate together was? Part of me feels like whoever it was must be loaded. I mean, you've combined two already great flavors into something that Reese's would more or less build a whole brand on. And then part of me thinks it plays out like the hypothetical guy who invented the Chicken McNugget in The Wire. The pat on the back from the big shot and then it's back into the basement.
In The Wire. Wow, that's crazy how they showing The Wire. Look at Michael B. Jordan.
I hope it's the former. But every now and then you come across an idea, a combination of things that's so good that you wonder how nobody's ever done it before. And every time my squad and I sprinted back toward time-traveling dropships, stopping only to deal with the Time Reapers that stood in their way, I wondered how the hell nobody had ever said, hey, what if we combined Overcooked with Gears of War, pre-Pizza Bandit? Pizza Bandit's setup is pretty simple. You're Malik, a former bounty hunter with dreams of being a chef, who was pulled back into the bounty game when he's scammed out of his pizza shop and his former crew needs his help to get out of a jam. Pizza Bandit's writing is pretty silly, but that's part of the charm. I can't get mad when Albert, the android that upgrades your weapons, tells me he doesn't know how to apologize for what happened in my pizza shop because he's just an android, or when my pilot waxes nostalgic about how he misses the fog.
I miss this fog. Reminds me of the old days.
Or when someone utters the odd, nonsensical line, it's too silly and the whole setup is just there to, well, set up Pizza Bandit's wackiness. See, you're not just any bounty hunting crew, you're a time-traveling bounty hunting crew, and that means you'll be going all over space and time to get the job done. Don't ask me how any of this works. All I know is that pizza heals and bullets kill, and the Time Reapers, nasty little buggers that seem to be invading every timeline, don't want this pizza shop owner to make any dough, and that's not gonna fly. What makes Pizza Bandit unique is that you're not just shooting stuff, you're also, well, kind of playing Overcooked. After squatting up, my first mission saw my crew, you can play with up to 3 friends, heading to the restaurant from nowhere, a hidden outpost run by another bandit crew. Our job? Fulfill the pizza orders for other bounty hunting teams, and send them off in time-traveling rocket pods.
Now it's closing time.
That meant putting together the right type of pizza, getting it in the oven, making sure that we were getting their drink orders right, and adding some extra bullets for when things got spicy, cramming it all into a pod, and doing it on time while fighting off the Time Reapers, who really don't like supporting small businesses.
The pizza is ready to be cooked.
And that's where the other part of the Overcooked Gears of War marriage comes into play. See, the Time Reapers mean business, and you're not going to talk them out of some time reaping. That's their whole bag. The only solution, fellow bandit, is incredible violence. I've played several builds of Pizza Bandit at this point, and let me tell you, your arsenal is up to the task. You start with your choice of assault rifle, minigun, and sniper rifle, but the real fun begins when you start unlocking your secondary weapons by completing jobs. They start simple, landmines, grenades, that sort of thing. But once you unlock the disco ball that attracts enemies and gets them dancing before it explodes, whew, buddy. And the sentry turret? Perfection. You could slice and dice them Time Reapers with a katana, but have you ever considered using a pizza slicer as big as a man? It'll change your life.
In fact, hold on. Let me go. I'm gonna come back to YouTube. Let me fix this Discord thing before my daughter comes on. Where is it? Oh, I gotta link it again. I think I disconnected it by mistake one time. All right, let me link this Discord. Then we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it shaking. Not now. Okay, we are set. All right, so how do I link the sound to this thing? I forgot how to do it. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube real quick. No, why can't I just get back in the app?
These doxes, but I guess not. Can't read time if there's no time to read. Or maybe you'll break into an enormous safe with a laser drill, like you're role-playing the opening of Michael Mann's Thief with a drill that's constantly exploding. That seems safe, right? But hey, apparently there's a magical cookbook in that vault whose recipes can alter reality, and we're being paid to get it, exploding drill or not. Pizza Bandit always gets the job done. And there's always time to do your best Breaking Bad impersonation and help a couple of guys cook some magic powder and hide it inside of some chicken. Pizza Bandit is always ludicrous, and its inspirations are obvious, but it's never less than fun. Between missions, it's back to Pizza Bandit, your restaurant, where you can acquire and upgrade your weapons, decorate Pizza Bandit itself, use the ingredients you find during missions to bake and share a pie for some stat boosts on your next run, or get some spiffy new duds for your bounty hunter. The milk carton backpack is a classic choice, if I do say so myself, but I'm still saving up for one of the cat ones. The things we do for fashion, am I right? Then it's back to it. Bandit's work is never done. Sometimes you don't know you want something until you get it. I didn't know I wanted Pizza Bandit until the first time I played it at PAX 2 years ago. It was one of those games that generated a lot of word of mouth. But it's one of those concepts that doesn't seem like it'll work until you get a controller in your hands and everything makes sense. I don't know why we've never gotten something like Pizza Bandit before, but once I played it, I knew I wanted more. Pizza heals, bullets kill, and Pizza Bandit rocks. If Jobsoft can stick the landing, we're in for a tasty slice of New York pie. For more on the biggest upcoming games, don't miss out on our recent previews of Lives of P Overture and NO 117 Pax Romana. And for everything else in the world of video games, call it your order to IGN.
Select any Discord server that you want to enter, and then select a voice channel that you want to talk in, preferably one with friends in it so you can test this out. And you're going to see a button on the bottom that says Join Voice. Don't you want to enter, and then select a voice channel that you want to talk in. Finally played the sequel out the Discord app on your your phone, select any Discord server that you want to enter, and then select a voice channel that you want to talk in, preferably one with friends in it so you can test this out. And you're going to see a button on the bottom that says Join Voice. Don't just press that right away. You're going to want to swipe up on the message, and you're going to want to go ahead and select a box that's going to pair the console that you just paired with Discord to the Discord server. That way you're joining the voice chat with your console and not just on your cell phone. After that, you're going to see a message pop up in the top right of your TV screen.
Challenged the idea of human connection with refreshing gameplay, fundamentally re-examined very active movement. To me, Death Stranding was an undeniable masterpiece. It delivered a viscous flow of content. Now that I've played its sequel for more than 30 hours, I'm starting to realize that it may have been only the beginning. Death Stranding 2 on the beach can be seen as an attempt to take the premises of the first game to the next level, while taking the player on a journey across the border of the United States of America. Its symbolic depiction of connection feels more dynamic, yet less certain than its predecessor. What questions will this new journey of legendary delivery man Sam Porter Bridges bring, and how will they be answered? In the first game, Sam reconstructed connections between people while uncovering the truth behind Death Stranding, a mysterious phenomenon that caused disconnection between cities. Through Sam's journey of delivering supplies, players experience movement in a way video games had not offered before. While the story
Okay, we got that set up, so just gotta add my daughter now.
The setting of Death Stranding 2 moves from the rebuilt UCA to the Mexican border region.
What the hell? What? Something went wrong.
Graphics that meticulously depict Mexico's
I'll do that shit again.
Impressive. From the texture of the dried surface to faintly rippling sand dust and rocky mountains in the distance, the game's visuals drew me in right away. Photorealistic modeling and subtle facial expressions of characters have also largely improved from the first game, and the art style creates an aesthetic that transcends mere realism, forming a powerful foundation supporting the game's surrealistic worldview and story. The part that plays in Mexico functions more or less like a tutorial, not just in terms of gameplay but also story and settings. While the first game overwhelmed players with numerous terms and settings in its early hours, Death Stranding 2 is conscious of being accessible even without prior knowledge. The game also offers a recap mode in novel style, as well as a glossary function called Corpus, showing careful consideration for players who have not played the first game, or those who did but found it too complicated. I feel that the game design of Hideo Kojima's often comes in three layers. For example, Metal Gear series gameplay consists of infiltration, danger, and stealth.
Let me do it from the computer.
Can be divided into walking, crouching, and the same philosophy can also be seen in Death Stranding, where your Odrodeck scanning device visualizes terrain danger levels in 3 different colors. Death Stranding 2 follows the same rules. Just like in the original Death Stranding, once again the player has to manage cargo weight and balance while traversing unstable natural terrain. Footing must be secured on slopes while the center of gravity must be controlled to avoid being swept away in rapid water streams. The risk of cargo damage is present throughout the process, which makes traversing the world itself a nerve-wracking task. Constructions such as ropes and ladders can be used to traverse the world more conveniently. These infrastructures go beyond individual player experiences. The structures installed by other players are shared in the world by the social strands system. As you make use of ladders and bridges left by someone else, the solitary exercise of delivery gradually transforms into a more connected and social experience. In addition to highways, Death Stranding 2 allows the player to construct monorails too, which makes traversing its world a lot smoother. Highways and monorails require a lot of materials, forcing the player to utilize the game's mines to gather them. As a result, establishing trade routes has become more central to gameplay than it was in the first game. While traversing the world itself has become more convenient, environments have become more challenging. In turn, the width of rivers can double due to rainfall, and natural hazards such as earthquakes and sandstorms can occur. As a new feature, the time of day also changes in real time, which causes additional challenges for Sam. These natural elements interfere with player actions in various ways, such as footing collapsing due to flooding and earthquakes, or visibility worsening in sandstorms in nightfall.
But they don't show like my PlayStation is connected.
The auto grade indicates
check.
proficiency in a more direct way.
I'll never pick up my microphone.
Stats and obtain new abilities. You can specialize in either delivery, movement, or combat skills. This shows that once again, Kojima is utilizing 3 layers of gameplay in which the player can tackle the game's missions and obstacles. While delivery, movement, and combat skills can all be customized, combat plays a greater role in Death Stranding 2. In the first game, combat was limited and functioned merely as a way to secure supplies or to make your way through bases. Death Stranding Director's Cut already added infiltration missions into mule bases, but Death Stranding 2 builds more varied stages and systemized combat in the open world, seemingly as an extension of that.
I still got finished the first Death Stranding. I didn't finish that game yet. Nah, I bought the game 2 times.
Simple three-dimensional structures. BTs, or creatures that appear due to the Death Stranding phenomenon, also have new types. Larger BTs with stronger attacks make the combat more challenging than it was in the first game. Combat has become more tactical as well. By throwing a speaking doll called Dollman, you can observe the insides of bases from above to grasp enemy placement and movement lines. While close combat remains important, remote stealth attacks with the blood boomerang, precision shooting with sniper rifles, and utilizing assault rifles and grenade launchers give the player a multitude of new options. It's even possible to put down Sam's backpack, allowing for more agile and nimble movement by completely separating him from his cargo. Weight management directly connects to mobility, which greatly enhances tactical flexibility. Whether to engage in direct combat, choose stealth, or avoid combat altogether, freedom of approach has increased when compared to the first game. You can even refund your used skill points.
But how do I connect this shit from here? Cause the phone is tripping. The phone not letting me do this shit.
After a series of dramatic events, Sam will cooperate with Drawbridge, a civilian company established by Fragile. As the setting moves from Mexico to Australia, a new journey begins. A mobile base called DHV Magellan, named after the explorer Ferdinand Magellan who traveled around the world, functions as a hub for the player. As the name DHV Magellan suggests, the story steps into themes reminiscent of colonial domination. Furthermore, the rise of a private political organization called APAC shows similarities with the PMC depicted in Metal Gear Solid 4. Since I haven't witnessed the story to its conclusion, it is too early to speculate on how these motifs...
I ain't gonna lie, just cause it's Kojima, bro, I wanted to try it, bro. You know, it was it's a strange game, and it kind of don't make it doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I just like to play Kojima games, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie, his Castlevania was lit. I have that shit on Xbox. Shit's good. I'm still trying to, cause my phone is not letting me connect to my PlayStation. Let me see. Join on PlayStation. And on the computer, I'm trying to do it through the browser. There you go. It's saying like you join.
One concern I had during my 30 hours with the game was that I realized that the trailers contain content that delves quite deeply into the main story.
I say I left
to the extent that a lot of what happened throughout the game I was already somewhat aware of. Could it be that too much has been given away in the trailers? Or is there a big surprise awaiting players when Death Stranding...
Say transferring to PS5, but it's not holding. Like it won't transfer. I mean, it was pretty neat, bro. Like how you can use the PlayStation's motion controller, bro, to like balance yourself when you carrying packages and shit. But it just got annoying when you kept like falling and stumbling over, like going uphill or downhill.
This morning, the Grand Theft Auto 5 has made off with more than $1 billion during its first 3 days on sale.
GTA 5 has since been re-released for each successive PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, I bought GTA 5 on every console. Literally, bro, every console.
It is one of the very best video games ever made.
What makes a game a classic? Is it its lasting impact, impressive sales figures?
I'm about to do it from my
The Grand Theft Auto
MacBook.
series is no stranger to these concepts. While many of its entries have become classics in their own right, very few games have had
No, but I could do it from the computer. Like it's not letting me though.
It's no surprise that the 10-year-old, 3-console generation spanning crime simulator that so uniquely satirizes the American dream has managed to resonate deeply in the hearts and minds of millions, and in turn, earned billions of dollars for Rockstar.
Earlier this week, Rockstar announced that GTA 5 made $800 million on day one. Analysts previously estimated that the game would earn $1 billion in its first month, but it appears they heavily underestimated just how excited people are to wreak havoc in Los Santos.
But is financial success the only indication of a classic game, or is it something else? And with the impending release of GTA 6, is it even possible for Rockstar to repeat history and have lightning strike twice? On this episode of IGN Rewind, we're taking a look back at one of the most influential, critically acclaimed, and popular video games of the 2010s. Nah, you know what? Scratch that. Ever. and why its genre-defining success may very well be the reason why it's taken Rockstar over 12 years to release Grand Theft Auto 6. This is the legacy of Grand Theft Auto 5. Well before GTA 5's first trailer,
Hey, my boy TNT Key is in the server. I'm trying to connect the PlayStation to this bitch, man. Damn.
game series ever.
But of all the worrisome materials swirling about,
Like, how the hell do you do this?
Auto 3, one of the most popular, technically sophisticated, and graphic video games ever designed, may have given our generation of adults.
Oh, there we go. Transfer to PlayStation.
The first few entries in the series may not have been as beloved as later titles. Due to its top-down 2D perspective and shallow plotline, it still showed off a hyper-violent, satirical take on modern life and the American dream.
Okay, there we go.
It wasn't until GTA was
The
able to
voice
take
has been
full advantage of
disconnected.
PlayStation 2 and bring that vision to a
Another.
vibrant and at the
Okay,
time,
there we go.
lifelike city
So,
that reflected real-world locations.
all right, we got it. I got it going. It's still transferring.
And Rockstar's storytelling capabilities and presentation. Gone were the simple smash and grab missions and one-dimensional characters of the earlier games in favor for more realistic depictions of criminals from all walks of life. The PS2 era protagonists were full of personality and motivation and had backstories that made their attempts at the American dream even more engaging and believable as the series matured. With each entry, this new style of writing, where multi-dimensional characters interacted with an abrasive and satirical world, helped both GTA and AAA games at large.
They got me right fucking here. The end of the road. The big house and a useless kid, and I'm stuck talking to you because no one else gives a shit.
My man was going through it.
It wasn't long after GTA 3's wildly successful release that we started to see dozens of copycat games. Driver and Saints Row vied to become the next GTA killer, and you know, we all know how that ended. Grand Theft Auto had managed to achieve something that very few video games had before it. It had not only cemented itself as one of the main pillar franchises of modern mainstream games, but also broke through to a mainstream audience via lyrics and rap songs, skits on popular TV shows, and even memes.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
But like all things that evolve, there were some growing pains. From the start of the series, GTA's depiction of hyperviolence and mature themes had made it the target of criticism from groups all over.
If you're a parent, there are some other things that you should know that should send shivers down your spine if you hear these three words: Grand Theft Auto.
But the graphic violence has attracted angry critics. Denounced by Congress here in the U.S., the game has been outlawed in Australia, and several other countries are also considering bans.
While most of these groups did nothing more than rattle their sabers in Rockstar's direction, one litigious attorney and anti-video game crusader had other plans.
And therefore, we're simply saying to the industry, if you're going to label these things and admit that they're harmful to minors, stop selling them.
Jack Thompson had been directly and indirectly involved in several prolific court cases against many AAA games throughout the 90s and into the 2000s. After the release of Grand Theft Auto 3, Thompson participated in numerous cases against Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, such as Strickland v. Sony, a $246 million lawsuit in which the families of the victims of a triple homicide claimed that the shooter was inspired by Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City.
Devin Moore shot 3 people in the head because of a video game?
What we're saying is that Devin Moore was, in effect, trained to do what he did.
Thompson's numerous cases against GTA didn't go anywhere, but he was able to shine a light on how easy it was for kids to get access to a game where committing a mass shooting was gamified, which in turn amplified any negative sentiment against the series by its detractors. None of that seemed to slow down Grand Theft Auto's success during the PlayStation 2 era. As of the time of this video, all 3 mainline games have sold tens of millions of copies. In the years following GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas, and a plethora of side stories, ports, and expansions were released, all to a larger audience than their predecessors. By the time GTA entered its HD age with Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2008, it was unstoppable, thanks to its more mature themes, a bigger and more lifelike Liberty City, and, at the time, next-gen presentation.
It's been nearly a decade since IGN gave any game a 10, but there's a reason why that's changed now. GTA 4 is simply one of the best games I've ever seen. The single player has an incredible amount of depth. The city is absolutely stunning to just walk around in, and the multiplayer is one of the best that I've ever seen as well. As an entire package for only $60, whether you buy it on 360 or PS3, you're getting a game that probably is worth spending $300 on. Certainly worth picking up. Definitely the best of the series, and easily a contender for Game of the Year.
Not long after the success of Grand Theft Auto 4, millions of people eagerly awaited the next chapter in the series. And after 3 years of rumors and speculation, the first trailer for Grand Theft Auto 5 dropped in 2011. As expected, it was wildly successful.
No longer do we have any rumors. We've been talking forever. Oh, GTA 5, it's got to be in production. But it's been a Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming. This is all we know about it. Rockstar officially released this logo.
Big news today. The first official details about Grand Theft Auto 5 have been announced.
It's a big, huge day today. The Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer came out. We watched it live.
I know.
And for now, an hour since then, we've been breaking down every minutiae detail of this thing.
Minutiae detail. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it's one of those things, everything they said sounds awesome. I really hope it all pays off.
Following the trailer, the drip feed of content from Rockstar was enough to keep millions of fans intrigued and hyped for what was coming next. The game took a different approach from its gritty gangster roots and followed 3 diverse characters with wildly different personalities and playstyles in a recreation of Los Angeles that is so detailed and accurate that players could feasibly navigate their way through some parts of LA without having been there before. Seriously though, Los Santos Vespucci Beach is a dead ringer for Venice Beach, and another perfect example of how the series uses a real-life location as the basis for its exaggerated and over-the-top satire.
Lost your job and the world's moved on, huh? That's too bad.
I didn't lose my job.
Of course. Got too old, got outsourced. Same thing happened to my dad. Now you gotta fit in with a different generation.
The game's plot was well received, thanks to its eccentric cast of characters and a Heat-inspired story about a high-profile robbery, shady government agencies, and like the previous titles before it, fulfilling the American dream.
Look, man, it's been a real honor, homie. But I gotta move forward in my life. It seems like all I do is let people tell me what to do, and I do it, and nothing changed.
Tell you what, man. You tell me exactly what you want, and I will very carefully explain to you why it cannot be.
What? IGN's review gave the game a perfect 10 out of 10 due to its story, large and dense world, and how Grand Theft Auto 5 takes everything great in past titles and makes it even better.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is not only a preposterously enjoyable video game, but also an
hoping for Mega Man 12. Shout to Inferno. I just shouted you out too, bro. I was like, I hope Inferno tune in, man. Man, I got high hopes for Kingdom Hearts 4 and Wolverine, man. I'm got super high hopes, man. I ain't gonna lie, PlayStation haven't been they haven't had a good state of play in a while, man.
It is one of the very best video games ever made.
The game's quality paid off. Within the game's first 24 hours on sale, it managed to earn a little over $800 million, crossing the $1 billion mark
what you out there
3 days
working
later.
for, bro?
Take-Two announced this morning that Grand
You're not
Theft Auto
feeling well.
5
Get in the
made
bed.
off with more than $1
Get in your
billion
bed.
during its first 3 days on sale. A statement reads, "We believe this marks the fastest selling entertainment property
Get in the bed.
video
Get in your
games
bed.
and feature films has reached this
You're around here
significant
throwing up
milestone."
everywhere. You
Grand
should
Theft Auto
get
5
some
was a certified hit, and as the series had done multiple times before, it became not only one of the biggest video game releases of all time, but also
Yeah,
went on to become one of the most
man, I'm
successful
hoping.
pieces of
I have
commercial art ever.
high hopes for it.
And this is IGN News. After a wildly successful launch, it has been revealed that Grand Theft Auto 5 officially holds 7 Guinness World Records. Since its release on September 17th, GTA 5 has enjoyed huge sales figures and managed to generate more revenue than movies such as The Avengers and Avatar.
Hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
GTA 5 is the best-selling action-adventure video game in 24 hours and the best-selling video game period in 24 hours with 11.2 million copies sold on day one. Wow. It's the fastest video game to earn $1 billion and the fastest entertainment property to earn $1 billion. It's also the highest grossing video game in 24 hours and holds the record for highest revenue generated by an entertainment product in 24 hours with $860 million. GTA 5 holds the world record for the most viewed trailer for an action-adventure video game.
But single player is only half
Yeah.
the story when it comes
Dog
to the
is
success of Grand Theft Auto
barking
5.
because people come. I guess I have people in the house. Guess.
When it comes to GTA 5's long-lasting success, most of that can be attributed to the smash hit that is GTA Online. While writing this video, GTA Online still sees an active 6-figure player base on Steam alone. GTA Online has kept itself more relevant for over a decade, thanks to its open-ended nature and constant stream of
Damn,
meaningful
10 years.
The release of Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS4 and Xbox One imminent, Rockstar has revealed a range of stats from GTA Online's first year via the Rockstar Newswire. Publisher's GTA Online census reveals that just shy of 34 million players in 224 different countries have logged into GTA Online.
But impressive player counts and a healthy amount of official post-launch content aren't the whole story. GTA 5's online mode has permeated the zeitgeist thanks to its open sandbox.
That boy threw a plastic bomb at that boy.
Interesting long after release, GTA 5's online experience is unique because you can play the game daily and not really engage with much of the official content. That's not to say this game is bare though. Throughout Grand Theft Auto Online's life, there have been numerous expansions and events that have kept players coming back for more. But the real carrot on a stick has to come from the community itself. The user-generated content from GTA Online has spawned an entire genre.
Oh hell, dang. Yeah, yo, the companies, they just milking it.
Videos and social posts that not only generate billions of views, but have also helped launch the careers of hundreds of content creators. One notable event that was created entirely by the community was the infamous Green versus Purple Alien War, in which players would cause chaos while dressed as green or purple aliens and fight a pseudo-civil war, all of which was planned offline and only possible thanks to a passionate and organized community. But mods and DLC aren't the only reason why Grand Theft Auto Online has managed to stay relevant during its nearly 12-year lifespan. The game was able to secure its die-hard fan base thanks to a feat very few titles have managed to pull off. GTA Online allowed players to hoard more than a decade of digital asset releases, including cars, planes, and other vehicles that would make a digital Jeff Bezos feel poor. The runaway success of Grand Theft Auto Online has helped the game stay near the top of the charts month after month for nearly a decade, earning Rockstar an impressive estimated $8.4 billion in revenue.
Damn. That's a lot of money.
The success of GTA 5 and GTA Online is most likely why the release gap between GTA 5 and 6 is nearly 12 years. While it may seem like Rockstar figured out the winning formula to print money, it has to be recognized that lightning just doesn't strike twice. With the poor reception of Red Dead Online 2 and a growing competitive online multiplayer space thanks to games like Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone, there may be some hesitation on Rockstar's part to dive into a brand new version of GTA Online. Regardless of how you feel about that, GTA Online is a true testament to what happens when a developer not only supports a title long after release, but allows its users to build and create content for what might very well be a...
I ain't gonna lie, GTA Online had turned into what's the other game? Saints Row. Jetpacks and...
To put the popularity and lifespan of GTA 5 in a
This is weird, dog.
The entire series, starting with the original Grand Theft Auto
Hey.
7 to the final expansion of
I remember I bought that first Grand Theft Auto.
Damned, was released over the span of 11 years. Nearly the same amount of time that GTA 5 has managed to stay on top of the sales charts month after month. As of the time of this video, GTA 5 has sold close to 190 million copies, only to be beaten by Minecraft's 300 million copies and Tetris's 520 million units. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold more units than Sony sold PlayStation 2s, Microsoft sold Xbox 360s, and even Nintendo has currently sold Switches. But sales aren't everything, because the sheer popularity of this game can't be understated, thanks to its impact on everything from the way modern games are presented, to the way content creators have built a world around an existing franchise, and even its impact on mainstream commercial art. So now what? And now, with the long-awaited sequel on the horizon, Rockstar may have another mega hit on its hands, thanks in part to the success of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Elden Ring Night Rain is a miracle. It takes the foundation of one of the best open-world RPGs of a generation and turns it into not just a roguelike where death is even more of a big deal, but a three-person co-op focused roguelike. And in many ways, that strange experimental concoction is a success. Under the right conditions, Night Rain's 45-ish minute runs are positively thrilling. They are packed with surprising encounters, challenging decisions, satisfying opportunities for teamwork, and some of the best bosses.
Yeah, same here, bro. Want something new, man? Yeah, they doing a lot of remasters and remakes.
Is that those right conditions are far more difficult to create than they should be. You really need to have a consistent squad of similarly skilled players that are able to devote hours at a time
Like,
in
bro,
order to see what
when
makes that
Xbox does theirs Friday, I hope they announce like the new Elder Scrolls, bro. I hope they don't announce another like remake. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I liked Oblivion the remake. It was cool, bro. But I need this new Elder Scrolls, man.
Let's get the most important caveat out of the way. If you are hoping to tackle Night Rain entirely solo, and are anything less than a hardcore Elden Ring player that actively seeks out ways to make that already difficult game even more challenging, Night Rain isn't for you. Yes, there is technically a single
Yo, Dwayne, you be playing these games, bro? These Souls type games?
I would be honestly shocked if it isn't patched and adjusted within the first month of release. And this is coming from someone who lives and breathes these types of games. To understand why we first need to go over what Night Rain even is. On a very basic level, this is a roguelite that takes place on an island called Limbo, which is kind of like a melting pot of Elden Ring's environments, enemies, bosses, and structures. The general flow of a run is split up into a 3-day cycle. On days 1 and 2, it's all about farming gear, defeating bosses, and leveling up so that you're as prepared as possible when you face off against one of the 8 extremely difficult Nightmare bosses on day 3. It's a great formula, and while you might think that the mostly static map would get old after a while, there's a good amount of procedural generation on every run that mixes up the location of just about every point of interest, requiring you to plan out a unique route on
Time's counting down, guys.
Random events like boss raids, summoning portals, and other wild occurrences that inject a heavy level of chaos every once in a while. Efficiency is key because you are on a very strict timeline, with a battle royale-esque circle that constricts at set points throughout the day, eventually shrinking to the size of a small battlefield and setting the stage for a boss battle that ends the night. It is immediately obvious that Night Rain was designed with a 3-player squad in mind. Enemy encampments that don't require you to fight a single boss, will instead have you spread out to take down 3 tough enemies. Basic encounters against 5 or more enemies that would be trivial with 3 players become costly time wasters when you're on your own. And the new Nightlord bosses all seem explicitly designed with having allies in mind. And I'm not sure how I would even approach several of them by myself. Night Rain at least scales up your damage when you're alone, but it doesn't change any of these fundamental design decisions in any way that would make solo play more reasonable. But the biggest issue is that co-op partners are able to revive each other when someone goes down, but you've only got 1 life to live against bosses when you're out on your own. That's generally the case in roguelites, but usually there's some sort of safety net that you can fall back on. For example, Hades has Death Defiances, and part of the progression of that game allows you to work towards unlocking more of them with every run. Returnal has artifacts that you can find that give you extra lives, rewarding you for being more thorough in your exploration. Spelunky has shortcuts that allow you to skip the early stages to get practice on the enemies, traps, and bosses that you only have limited experience with. The list goes on, but Night Rain has virtually nothing to make up for the fact that solo players lose access to that crucial revival option. There is an item that will resurrect you once with half of your life, but it's limited to the highest rarity tier, meaning you have to choose it over a legendary weapon if one does appear as a reward. Similarly, you may find them in a shop, but they cost a substantial amount of runes that you could instead use to level up. Either way, it's just not a solution that makes up for the crippling detriment of not having someone to revive you if you go down. None of this is to say that solo play is outright impossible, and I have had a few successful runs on my own. Just that the balancing of solo play feels like a job half finished, and as a result, the frustration of playing alone wasn't worth the triumph for me to have any desire to play it more without a squad. Night Rain's saving grace is that when you do have a squad of 3 people who all know what they're doing, communicate well, and are generally pretty skilled at Elden Ring, it really is a lot of fun. The central idea of taking an entire game's worth of progression and condensing it into a 40-minute run is a strong one. Going from cutting down
Okay. Yeah, I tried Elden Rings, Demon Souls. Yeah, that shit's just too hard, bro.
It's 80+ hours of character growth condensed into less than an hour and shot straight into your veins.
Liza P, bro, that game looks so good, bro. I tried playing it a few times. I just couldn't do it.
mostly because of the amount of information on the minimap you have to process, but at least FromSoft keeps the inventory and stat management very simple. Level ups are automatic, letting you press a button at a site of grace to automatically level your class's preferred stats. And as far as weapon stats go, all you have to worry about here is the damage number, the elemental affinity, the passive bonus you get simply for having the weapon in your inventory, and the weapon skill that comes along with it. This meant when I had a choice between 3 rewards, I was able to very quickly make a judgment on what I needed at that moment and continue on my way. Eventually I started to understand what rewards were offered at which camps, which ones were quick and could be cleared before the circle closed in, which ones I should do only if I had a lot of extra time, what level I should attempt certain roaming bosses, and which bosses I should absolutely avoid unless my team was really confident in our builds. Exploring these areas can be more frustrating than it needs to be, thanks to a new wall climbing ability that just feels straight up bad. Especially when it takes 3 attempts to jump over what looks like should be an easily scalable wall as you're trying to escape from the encroaching circle. But learning the ins and outs of the map helped my efficiency and led to a very satisfying feeling of skill progression that wasn't tied to the actual progression system that offers persistent improvements between attempts. That system is tied to relics that can be won after completing a run. Whether you win or lose, you still get relics, but the better you perform, the better the quality and quantity of relics you earn. These can be equipped before a run and impart stat bonuses, starting skills or elemental affinities for your initial weapon, buffs for performing certain actions, and in some cases, they can even improve the skills of a specific class. When you're just starting out, these bonuses are hardly noticeable and too random to really make any sort of compelling build from, but eventually, with enough runs under your belt, you'll get some powerful relics that can really start to have an effect on your power level in a run. That said, there should really be more of an element of choice with regards to the meta progression, or at least a way to control some of the randomness. There are a small selection of relics that you can buy at the jar shop inside your base before runs, and there are set relic rewards for being Night Lord bosses and completing class-specific objectives called Remembrances, but other than that, you're completely at the mercy of the RNG gods when it comes to what relics you get. It can be really annoying when you're looking to strengthen your preferred class, and you keep getting relics that just don't do anything for you. One of the biggest departures compared to what we're used to from Elden Ring is that the classes are now actual classes, with unique skills and gameplay styles, as opposed to soft classes that just determine your starting stats and weapons. And the 8 options are varied and well-defined, with even the most basic archetypes having some interesting twists to them. The Wild, for instance, is the general jack-of-all-trades, but also has access to a nifty grappling hook that can be used to pull weak enemies towards you, zip yourself towards larger enemies, or simply zoom you around the field at high speeds if you aim it on the ground. In addition to the basic fighter, mage, and ranger archetypes, you also have a few completely unique choices that don't fit into any pre-existing mold. One of the most interesting classes is the Executor, whose main skill has you pulling out a unique sword with a Sekiro-like parrying mechanic tied to it. Basically, by blocking attacks with proper timing, you completely negate damage, don't lose any stamina, and reduce the enemy's own stamina, potentially opening them up for a critical hit. It's a very risky class, especially in a game where missing a parry can mean almost certain death, and it feels like the offensive power of the Sekiro sword is a little too weak to justify the risk of the parries, but I appreciate this inclusion nonetheless as both a nod to Sekiro and a completely different way to approach combat. As mentioned, each of the classes has a remembrance tied to them, which is essentially a collection of journal entries that chronicle the story of how they wound up in Limveld and their purpose for being there. It's a far cry from the rich lore that we're used to in FromSoft games, but at least each of the remembrances has a handful of playable chapters that have you completing specific objectives in order to earn powerful relics, as well as a healthy amount of runes to help you level up during the actual run itself. Almost all of Night Rain is made up of existing Elden Ring parts, but there are a few surprise bosses that are pulled from the Dark Souls series as well. But the 8 Night Lords are brand new, and oh boy, they're almost all unlike any boss FromSoft has ever designed before. Many of them are clearly inspired by MMO boss battles, with a number of party-wiping attacks that must be stopped or interrupted before they get a chance to finish their preparation. Others are designed to split the party up into roles to either hold aggro or press the assault, and some are just designed to be all-out wars against absurdly aggressive foes. They're almost all bangers, with only one of them being a dud due to the best best strategy simply being hanging back and pelting them with arrows for what felt like an hour. Still, 7 out of 8 is still pretty great, especially when those 7 are among the best From Software has ever created, with excellent accompanying soundtracks to match. I don't want to spoil them too much, but the fight against the Fisher and the Fog boss in particular is so good it gave me goosebumps all throughout. But the creativity of those bosses once again shines a light on the eldritch elephant in the room. They only really work as a team, and by far the 2 biggest issues facing Night Rain right now are 1, the shocking lack of crossplay, and 2, the absence of a duo's playlist. If you play as a duo, you will be forced to fill the 3rd player with matchmaking. It is simply a lot to ask of a group of 3 people who all must have purchased the $40 game, play on the same platform, be of a similarly matched skill to be able to handle the extreme challenge of the Day 3 bosses, have the time to devote 45 minutes per run, and also can agree on fighting the same boss that they may or may not need to beat for their own individual progression. There is a decent pinging system that at least makes it possible for light communication with a group of randos, but there's no built-in voice chat, which makes nuance like trying to communicate that your group should hit the basement of the castle instead of the front or side entrance virtually impossible. It's just a night and day difference when you're able to group up with a squad that communicates well and knows what they're doing versus when you've got one that doesn't listen to you or just constantly makes bad decisions, especially with no way to vote to cancel or quit out of a run without penalty.
I'm setting this Discord up on my MacBook.
Live servers pretty unappealing.
Hopefully that'll do it.
When Elden Ring Night Rain is played exactly as it was designed to be played, it's one of the finest examples of a 3-player co-op game around. The 8 character classes are each fun to use and feature a surprising amount of depth despite their limited movesets. The new Night Lord boss battles are among the best FromSoft has ever crafted and make the most of the 3-player dynamic, and the fast-paced racing and clock nature of each run leads to exciting moments of split-second decision-making and frantic rushes to try to finish up a fight before the circle closes in. But a lack of crossplay, dual matchmaking, and built-in communication tools makes it hard to create the
I mean, I think that's dope that they have multiplayer now on like Elden Ring, bro.
Every run. And if you want to just play by yourself,
So you can have help.
I can't recommend it because of the poor solo mode balancing. All of this amounts to an ambitious spin-off that's exhilarating when you're able to create the proper conditions, and one that quickly flips to incredibly frustrating when you're not.
One of my favorite features in the first Death Stranding was how you could get that little hover caddy thing, and you could put your mail-in, carry it around, or you could do sick tricks and ride it like a skateboard, which is a thing you can actually do in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, which you, Nick Maillet, played a whole bunch of. What's up with those skateboards?
Yeah. Okay. So Tony Hawk 3 and 4, it is exactly. It's a remake, calling it a remaster, but let's be honest, it's a remake of Tony Hawk 3 and 4, as the name would suggest. One thing out of the gate, there is no campaign for Tony Hawk 4. I know that's made a lot of people really kind of about the game, but I can guarantee you it's really fun. It plays exactly like how you used to play the old games. It just, what was funny for me is that I haven't played them in almost 20 years at this point. I'm old, I get it. And within like 4 or 5 minutes, I full muscle memory and just knew exactly where to go. And it's like very nostalgic, but it also feels super modern, if that makes sense. Like it's not as rough as if you went back and played them on the PS2 where you're like, this was better when I was a kid.
How did it compare, I guess, to playing the first 2 remasters? Because I remember those looked, and I mean, they perform well. They perform as they play like the originals play, but there's still that kind of weird separation of like, this looks like a brand new game, but it sort of controls like an older game. What did 3 and 4 do to sort of push things forward in terms of the Tony Hawk experience?
Yeah, I would say 3 and 4, I think are, I mean, it's pretty objectively at this point, even if you go off like IGN's reviews and stuff, better games. The worlds are a lot bigger. The maps, they're just like, everything's more fleshed out. There's a lot more to do. It's more wacky and zany.
The missions I remember being insane. Like I saw a little bit in this footage here. There was like a dude in a haunted house that turned into bats.
Yeah, he's the Slender Man, and you go up to him and he's like, oh, I need to get in this house. And you find an axe and you give it to him, and then he like gets dragged down to hell. But then you get another place where you can skateboard and a bunch of skeletons are like dancing and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is the insanity that I forgot these games had. Because they got a bit more grounded later on, like Project 8 and stuff.
I gotta
A
ask.
little bit underground.
A quick spoiler, but I need to know. The Canada level, it's back, right?
Yes.
Can you tip the man who is peeing on the edge of a mountain over the mountain still?
I couldn't find him.
Oh no.
But I also might have. I didn't play the Canada one that much because.
Okay.
This is a personal preference. I don't like snow levels in games, as weird as that is. If there's snow, I tend to avoid it. And I'm like, I don't know why. I just feel cold.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, I feel Nick on that because I like snow biomes, but I hate deserts. And every game nowadays feels like they have to include one or two deserts or a desert and a wasteland, and I'm so sick of it.
I mean,
so.
I get the desert because they're sort of desolate by definition. But like, what's wrong with snow?
I don't know.
Cool. It's like a cool thing to show off. Like you get you get little snow drifts. You can see footprints. Maybe the people follow you.
I get wowed for a minute, and then I'm just like, it's just like I'm watching this gameplay right
shivering.
now that I played, and I'm just like, it ruined Kingdom Hearts 3 for me when you're in the snow and Sora didn't wear a jacket.
Oh, man.
When you find out there's a whole Frozen.
You talking about the Frozen level on Kingdom Hearts? When you go to Frozen, the movie, you go to the Frozen world, and you meet Elsa and the snowman. I figured his name.
I want to say I get it, but I don't.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was pretty dope.
Snow levels are
I ain't gonna lie, that final boss, that shit was hard.
There's the rare occasion.
That shit
where,
took me
like,
almost like an
you're
hour
gonna
to beat.
slip on ice, or maybe the cold actually hurts you if you're not wearing the right outfit or whatever. But in like a skateboarding game, are you just mad because it looks like a snowboarding game?
It's just, I don't know. For me, skateboarding is, we're going to the beach or a haunted house, not in the snow. Nick did just point out the guy was peeing off the edge, and I do remember in the remake, that's a dude who's trying to take pictures of you.
Oh, they changed it from a peeing person to a photographer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And those are the hardest missions because, like, do this really ancillary thing right now here, and I'm like, I never get it. But
wait, so he's not peeing anymore? He's just a photographer? What?
Yeah, he's taking photos of you instead.
Oh man, I was gonna say like I love how like dudes peeing off of ledges was like a pretty groundbreaking thing in the PS2 era. You know, they had that in like Metal Gear Solid 2. You just trying to knock them down. Yeah, I don't know. Go figure. So yeah, this looks rad. I'm actually like way more interested in this. I went into 1 and 2 I had fond memories of playing them as a kid, and then immediately jumping into the remakes, going, oh right, I suck. I completely suck at these games because they're like, I mean, the first ones are very. They're very they're all very score based, but I think what kind of missed me as like a middle schooler was that they're also effectively rhythm games. Like it really comes down to just nailing those combos. And are these a little more forgiving and if you just want to kind of screw around, because that's sort of what it sounds like.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's to level design. 3 and 4 have much bigger, more open, more fun levels that aren't like, especially with 1 where you kind of there's a path that you want to take that's optimal. These are a bit more open and more fun, and I found myself like doing a lot better than I did with the last remakes, just because the game's just a lot. It just sum it up. It's just a better game.
I mean, it's that's going from transitioning from the 64 and PS1 to PS2 back in the day for 3 and 4. Like that just afforded them so much more polygons and space on the disc to put more things, so they were able to make the stages better. So I love 1 and 2, but yeah, 3 was my favorite, of all time. Plus, you get to skate as Wolverine in 3, which I
That's fire.
99.9% sure he's not coming back this time around, which is a bummer.
Don't think he is, but Bam Margera's back, so.
Yeah, that was a pretty big announcement that they had, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of question marks on whether or not he would be in the game, but no, it seems like they got him back. So good for them and good for him.
Yeah, shout out to Bam Margera. They can't do Tony Hawk without
very
him.
much an in thing at the moment, and while it's no surprise that we would eventually see what are arguably 2 of the best entries in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series make their way to modern platforms, I definitely didn't expect this package to be as robust of a remake as
Kenny,
it
I'm just
shaped
going
up
to
to
the
be.
bathroom. You stay.
From the instantly recognizable levels of THPS 3 to the controls that activated a muscle memory I didn't realize was stored in my brain for over 20 years. Yeah, I'm old. And the refreshing pick up and play 2-minute time limits, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is definitely shaping up to not only be one of 2025's better remakes, but a game that'll keep you kicking and pushing for dozens of hours this summer. As As the name suggests, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is a remake of both games with a modern facelift, new parks and skaters, and most importantly, a banger of a soundtrack. It plays exactly like it did back when it was released on PlayStation 2, and it's clear that this is definitely an if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of remake. There's a sense of nostalgia I felt when revisiting classic maps like THPS 3's Suburbia and Forest College, and while those definitely look much better now for, obvious reasons, it still felt like the same games my friends and I stayed up way too late playing on Friday nights all those years ago. The wackiness and the weirdness of the Tony Hawk games is still here, and outside of a few modern updates to the roster and the promise of new tricks and a new game plus mode, this is definitely the Tony Hawk that you remember from yesteryear. That's not to say it's all hard flips and smooth pavement though. While Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 plays really smoothly and the inclusion of the traditional 2-minute timer works surprisingly well, the lack of the campaign mode is a bit of a sore spot in an otherwise promising remake. The game's purists might be let down from this, but after playing for a few hours, I didn't really miss it much. There's something refreshing about playing a game that respects my time and limits me to shorter bursts of gameplay in an age where every game wants me to play it for hundreds of hours on end. While a career mode would have been a cool inclusion, there's still a lot here that's worth sinking your teeth into. Thankfully, nothing's been messed with and the gameplay feels natural. And within minutes, I was pulling off long grinds into manuals, back into grinds, and chasing that ever-elusive higher score while flying around the map trying to fill out skate. After a few minutes of tripping over myself in a comically over-the-top way, the controls quickly came back to me and I was flying around Suburbia, heel flipping over cars, and popping off that satisfying orchestra hit whenever I landed a special move. Ah, music to my ears. The new map Water Park felt like it was always part of the original games, and it was easily one of the most fun levels to grind
Hey,
around
that map
and
looked
discover
dope.
its secrets. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater's addictive gameplay loop kept me wanting more whenever the timer ticked down to the last few seconds, and I frequently found myself quickly hopping back in for just one more run. In a time where it seems like every game from the early 2000s is getting a modern facelift, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is shaping up to be a welcome addition in a year full of excellent remakes and remasters. From its faithful recreation of what made the PS2 era classic so memorable, to its modern quality of life improvements, excellent soundtrack, and overall love letter to the series' early days, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is very much something that should be on your radar if you're a fan of skateboarding, enjoy action sport games, or just want to play something that's simple and fun. It might be the easiest kickflip you'll land all year. For more previews of the latest upcoming games, don't miss out on our recent looks at the Outer Worlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And for everything else...
Oh yeah, I want to play that Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
2013 was a major year for video games. The PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 had overstayed their welcome, and consumers were looking for the next big thing.
Is it too late in its life cycle to get a PlayStation 3, and should I just wait?
It was the perfect time to announce the next generation of PlayStation hardware, and Sony did just that.
This is the foundation of our next generation platform, PlayStation 4.
While on the surface, this may have seemed like just another console launch. It was only 2 years since the infamous hack of the PlayStation Network, 1 year since the Vita failed to set the market on fire, and over 6 years since the launch of the PS3. For Sony, this needed to be a home run. On this episode of IGN Rewind, we'll be taking a close look at the launch of Sony's 4th PlayStation console and dive deep into how the PlayStation 4's launch would set the groundwork for one of Sony's most successful video game endeavors yet. This is the launch and reveal of the PlayStation 4. Rumors of the next generation of PlayStation started popping up online via LinkedIn job postings.
They found the CV on LinkedIn of a guy named Attila Vox. He worked at PlayStation for about 14 years, starting in 1998. And what's interesting on his CV is that he worked on something called the Next Generation PlayStation. He worked on PS2, PS3, Vita, but he worked on this thing he only calls Next Generation PlayStation. We don't know what that is, but we assume it's the next generation console, PlayStation 4.
While numerous industry experts were speculating and discussing why they wanted a new PlayStation, there wasn't any official confirmation from Sony regarding a new console.
Rumors hit the internet about the PlayStation 4, Sony's next home console. Very exciting.
What's a code name?
Codenamed Orbis.
Oh, that's a hell of a name.
Woo!
That's a thing.
Now, there's the rumors have a few details to them, including the CPU and GPU, which I don't think are as exciting as a couple other pieces of information, including the fact that it apparently will not play PlayStation 3 games. whoa, there's going to be some sort of restriction placed on the system's ability to play used games. Now, we also heard that there's a potential holiday release for 2013. So with all that said, Colin, true or fake?
It's probably true, but I don't know. I mean, so we did reach out to Sony, of course. We talked to our people there. Their usual line when they don't want to tell us anything is we don't comment on rumors and speculation. PlayStation 4's controller seems to have leaked, Scott.
Yes.
And these are very exciting times. Now, the story comes by way of Destructoid, who posted a picture. This is the picture, but we'll have a better version of it, obviously, appearing on your screen. What looks like a PlayStation 4 dev kit and a PlayStation 4 controller, and a source indicates to IGN that that controller is 100% real, so there is no speculation about it.
That speculation was
Yeah, that controller was bulky as hell.
And here we go. Sony will be making a big announcement on February 20th, and all signs point to it being the PlayStation 4. PlayStation.com is advertising a meeting to be held on February 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern, along with the invitation, See the Future.
We believe that PlayStation 4 represents a significant shift from thinking of PlayStation as merely a box or a console to thinking of PlayStation as a leading authority on play.
Yeah, ain't gonna lie, PlayStation kicked Xbox ass that year.
Generation platform, PlayStation 4.
Today, Sony held a special press event in New York City, and they had tons of huge announcements for us. Let's get to it. First off, the big one.
The PlayStation 4 is official, and it's coming as soon as holiday 2013. It will have an x86 CPU, 8 gigs of system RAM, what Sony is calling an enhanced PC GPU, and a supercharged PC architecture. It will be capable of running gorgeous Unreal Engine 4 games, and even have millions of objects moving in real time on the Havoc engine. You'll apparently be able to turn off the system while playing and pick up where you left off just by turning it back on. Dedicated always-on hardware puts a huge focus on social functionality, where apps on Vita, smartphones, and tablets allow you to chat even when you're away from your PS4.
But we didn't just get to see the new console. Take a look at the new controller.
It's officially called the DualShock 4. It has enhanced rumble, reduced latency, a small touchpad, and a light bar to track its movements. It also has a share button, but more on that in a bit.
Not gonna lie, that looks pretty hot to me.
I'm Jamin Hatfield, host and producer here at IGN. You may recognize me from such shows as GameScoop.
What was the hype like around the office when the PS4 was initially announced? So pre-E3 when they had that PlayStation conference, and then the controller leak like a week before.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit, it was a little bit muted at that point. It was like I said, sounds great on paper. It's the next PlayStation. It's more powerful, easier to develop for. Cool, sounds good. It was as things started to fall apart for Xbox. You know, it's just these. You see, the first-party platforms, they rise and fall. They come and go, and going into PS3, Sony had gotten cocky after 2 generations dominating the industry, and then that bit them in the butt. And then you see the same thing happening with Xbox. When you watch that reveal of the Xbox One, it almost seems like they don't even think of Sony as a competitor anymore. Like, they want to compete with Amazon and cable companies and Comcast. So the whole reveal, there's very little talk of video games during that reveal. There's talk about how it's going to be the center of your entertainment living room, and you're going to run your cable box through it, and it's going to change the way that you watch sports. And it's probably going to require an online connection, and you can't trade your games, and you may not even be able to play used games on it. So it's like, what? It sounded worse and worse the more we heard about it, and that just made the PlayStation 4 sound better and better and better.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the death blow was E3. This is going to be a bigger than normal E3 with a lot of focus on next generation consoles.
E3 2013 was an electrifying conference because not only was Sony showing off their new console, but Microsoft was also showing off their new Xbox. Even though Microsoft's press conference was aired before Sony's by a few hours, the reception of their event was received in a less than stellar way and ultimately led to diminished sales and a major blow to their brand's reputation. But that's another story for another time.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right.
Later that evening, all eyes were on Sony and the PlayStation 4.
Like an hour, and we're like, yeah, this is okay.
We got called back here at an hour, and Dame and I were like, it's been a solid conference. I'm waiting for the knockout punch, and then they just came out and beat the body to death. It's 6 years, 6.5 years I've covered PlayStation for IGN. I'm so used to them coming out and just screwing it up.
I know.
And they're coming out like, no, we got this.
Oh my God.
E3 2006, they screwed up then.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
announced it. $600.
$599 US.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I don't know. So where do we begin?
You have to. It was backloaded. This whole thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like
they were teasing us the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
exactly,
I loved
it. You wanted
I
more.
wanted more.
They showed a hell of a lot of
Oh my God. Yeah.
The bombshells were the price.
The biggest question on everyone's mind was saved for the end of the conference. Everyone wants to know, what's it going to cost? Sony revealed that the PlayStation 4, which arrives this holiday season, will be priced at $399 US, 399 euros, and 349 pounds sterling. 20% less than the Xbox One. Damn.
The most notable thing to come out of the entire press conference, besides the console itself, wasn't an announcement for anything Sony was selling, but a direct shot at Microsoft Xbox One's always online DRM.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
This bold jab at the competition was what Sony needed to hammer its gaming-first messaging and solidify its player-first stance for the next generation of consoles.
I think they handled it as pretty. They took that probably as far as you could without being like distasteful.
The PS4 reveal was a massive success, and Sony managed to not only reinvigorate the PlayStation brand, but also amplify the competition's confusing messaging around its next Xbox console.
There were lots of people who gave their opinions on that issue to my Twitter account before E3. It's not that our hardware policies are decided strictly based on user reaction like this, but when we were thinking about what we had to bring across and how to bring it across, it was a very useful source. Considering how Sony referenced the feedback Microsoft had received towards the end of its conference, it appears that even if the backlash didn't dictate what the Japanese company decided to do with the PS4, it was happy to capitalize on the negative reaction. SCE Japan Asia President Hiroshi Kawano added, "As of now, I feel like we're getting a very positive response. For this system, we made a list of what people expected from us, debating over each point, with user feedback forming the main basis for the list. The software makers are also telling us that they feel like they really make some fun stuff with it. A new platform always provides the basis for new forms of play, so I'd like to see it connect to a revitalization of the marketplace."
It's the fact that I think for E3 and what E3 is designed to be, PlayStation won it. I think Microsoft had better games. I was more excited about their game lineup, but only because I already knew they came out and showed like updated versions for PlayStation games, right?
Sure.
And I was like, that's awesome. And then what I got excited about the PlayStation was the price, and then standing up for gamers like we've talked about, and doing all these different things.
This is the time more than ever where you need to win on policy, because a few years ago Sony announced the PS3 and they said it's $599 US, and people said no. And had they said yes, game consoles would forever be $600+, but they weren't. And we changed that, right? And we spoke with our wallets. And this time around, Sony said, we're not going to do the used game thing. We're not going to rip people off. And they stopped that dead in its track. And if you're doing that, you're an ass. Right. And you're ripping people off. And that's the tone they set. And that's more important than any game in the world. The games will come later, but if the platform doesn't rip you off out the box, it's a good place to start.
In those first party conferences, there's always sort of a level of like one-upmanship, and they're always trying to outdo each other. But that year is like, I've never seen any of the first parties be so blatant in their like thumbs up to Xbox. Like Jack Tretton, just they addressed deliberately the fact that their console was not going to require any sort of online connection. You can trade your games, you can play used games. They're just like they hit every weak point that Xbox had sort of revealed for themselves.
Yeah,
Sony took advantage of.
The excitement around the PlayStation 4 was nearing a cult-like status. Thanks to its well-received E3 press conference and effective marketing campaign, Sony had positioned itself to become the console leader of this new generation early into its launch window.
And then, of course, on launch day, it was like, there was so much more excitement. Like, we have a video on IGN about this mass unboxing of PS4s in the office, because pretty much everyone in the IGN office had pre-ordered one. Let me just say, I don't think we had enough people to do a fun video like that for the Xbox One.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, and our personal PS4s have arrived here at the IGN office, but everybody's so excited we all wanted to do an unboxing video by ourselves, so we said, hey, we'll do it all at once. You guys ready? Yeah! All right, then. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody?
Got the controller right here. Let's take a look at the DualShock 4.
Man, that was a hell of a time, man. I remember when I had got my PS4, man, I was shush.
Monthly PlayStation Plus. But the best part about this is that if you hook it up to your TV right now, you'll be able to download the latest firmware and make sure you get it all in time.
That boy had to unbox the GameCube.
PlayStation 3, it didn't really have a built-in headset, so nobody was ever talking in PS3 multiplayer games.
Very nice packaging here that you can see. The wobble, the infamous PlayStation 4 wobble. It's because of these little dots, but don't worry about it, it's okay.
So I got an authentic quick start guide.
But then it also comes with a controller. Oh my gosh, we got the same thing! That's why this is the most revolutionary console ever made, since the GameCube at least.
This is the world's best HDMI cable because you know it came free in a box.
Okay, well I'm going to do an in-depth walkthrough of this power cable now, starting at one end. So I'm not sure what this end is for.
The console is pretty amazing. I mean, if you look at it, it's got the glossy small top, kind of got a matte.
Boy, showing the GameCube games.
There you have it, folks. The PS4, it looks great. I'm gonna go make out with this, man. Some of us have to get back to work.
Well, that's the unboxing of the PlayStation 4.
It was very entertaining as a gamer to watch, and it was exciting to cover as an IGN employee. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't have. I have no notes.
The launch of the PlayStation 4 was lightning in a bottle. The system was well on its way to becoming one of the best-selling consoles of all time, topping the original PlayStation at over 117 million units sold at the time of this video. Thanks to some smart marketing and one of the most effective video game press conferences to date, Sony was able to revive the PlayStation brand and launch one.
Hey, what are you doing on June 7th and 8th? If you said anything but going to IGN Live, you're missing out. Get hands-on with new and upcoming games, be front row for celebrity interviews, developer deep dives.
Welcome to IGN Live.
Live tapings of all your favorite IGN shows. Roll the thing. Free merch, exclusive looks at what's new from Netflix, Xbox, IDW, 2K Sports, and more. It's a huge party and you're invited.
Real fans, and I love that.
Get your tickets today at IGN.com/live.
If there's one thing that's kept the name Doom up near the top of the list of first-person shooters, it's how it's always boldly reinventing being a badass, super-powered, one-man army against the armies of hell. 3 decades ago, we got the original old-school running guns, then a jump-scare-laden horror shooter, then a modern reimagining of that old-school running gun, and then a mobility-focused action shooter in 2020's Doom Eternal. The form that Doom: The Dark Ages takes on is actually one that is very different from Eternal, a game that I rank as one of my favorite shooters of all time. In fact, it's so different that initially I was turned off by the heavier feel of the movement, the lack of a double jump or air dash, and the sheer chaos of having wide open fields with seemingly hundreds of enemies closing in on me from all sides. But a few hours into the 20+ hour
Doom was
campaign,
good.
my arsenal had
I liked
expanded. The ways in which I could dispatch enemies had diversified, and I'd started
Dark
to better
Ages,
understand and
it was good. It was a good
appreciate
game.
what Doom: The Dark Ages was and what it wasn't. By the end of it, I was left grinning like a Doom guy that just picked up a super shotgun as I ripped and tore until it was done. Doom: The Dark Ages campaign is all about setting up the dark sci-fi fantasy vibes. It follows our strong, mostly silent Doomslayer before he was awoken in a sarcophagus in a UAC space station back in Doom 2016. Of course, the Slayer himself isn't much more than just a vehicle for badassery, so it's not like we're seeing a new side of him or getting any sort of deeper look at this character's origins or motivations. Instead, the Dark Ages story is more about filling in the blanks in the Doom universe, diving into the history of the conflict between humans and demons, and further fleshing out both the faction of humanity defending Sentinels and the deity-like Makers.
Launch the Slayer.
And in that way, it's not only serviceable, but it also does a good job of taking us to both a wide variety of hellish landscapes that include sci-fi themed medieval castles, and a very welcome trip to the Lovecraftian-inspired cosmic realm, which features a ton of really cool mind-bending puzzles and creepy settings that are different from what we've seen before. Perhaps the best thing about the story is that it no longer feels like it's just the Slayer against the nameless forces of hell. There are human companions that are central to the plot.
Maybe he didn't survive.
It regularly feels like you're fighting alongside humanity in this giant all-out war against the demons. And there's actual intrigue involving the mysterious Makers and their role in this whole conflict. This is the strongest a Doom story has ever been, even if that's not a bar you'd have to double jump over. These Besides the setting, the big thing that separates Doom the Dark Ages from previous entries in the series is the addition of the Slayer's shield, and all the abilities that come with it. Now, rather than being forced to avoid taking damage by constantly staying on the move and jumping around like a madman, you're often encouraged to charge straight forward into danger with your shield at the ready to either block or deflect enemy attacks. Any attack that is red can be blocked until your shield is depleted, and anything that's green can be reflected with a well-timed guard to not only deal substantial damage, but also stun most monsters it hits. Even on Nightmare difficulty, which is what I did my playthrough on, the parry timing is very generous. But fortunately, you can fine-tune it however you like in the menus, along with a ton of other handy difficulty modifiers. The other key shield technique is a charging bash attack that can be used to quickly close the distance between you and your enemy. Think the Super Shotgun's grapple in Doom Eternal, only faster. You can use it with any weapon, and it's on a relatively quick cooldown. I know, fun, right? This combination of being able to use the shield both defensively to block and stun, and then offensively to quickly zip in and out is what really elevates the Dark Ages combat to the stratosphere by making it still feel very fast and exciting, even with the removal of things like double jumps, quick dashes, and fast weapon swaps. We get the best of both worlds, in that this Slayer is still extremely mobile, but also feels like a heavily armored tank thanks to loud footsteps and a devastating shockwave when you land from a high jump. The shield's utility doesn't end there either. Eventually, you'll also get the ability to toss the shield out Captain America style to instantly decapitate tons of fodder enemies all at once. Or, if you use it against larger enemies, it will continuously buzzsaw into them, keeping them incapacitated for a short while. This is an extremely useful skill, but I found it to be especially potent against the Arachnotron enemies that like to pepper me with a constant stream of non-reflectable bullets. If they're unarmored, I can just toss my shield to stop them from shooting, dash in, and all it takes is a single Super Shotgun blast to ready them for an execution. Those abilities are key to surviving tough fights because almost every enemy in Doom the Dark Ages has some sort of weakness like this, and unlike Doom Eternal, they are rarely weapon specific. There's no more switching to the combat shotgun specifically to pop a grenade into a Cacademon's mouth, then swapping to the rifle to snipe the guns off of a Revenant, then swapping between shots of your Super Shotgun and Ballista to quickly burst down a Marauder or other big beefy enemy, etc. That's fun in its own way, and I'm sure there will be those out there, like myself, who still prefer it overall, but the Dark Ages still manages to find a way to be an absolute blast without requiring a StarCraft Pros level of APM on the harder difficulties. The enemies are largely the same usual suspects that have been in most of the other Dooms. You've got your Imps, Hell Knights, Mancubi, and the aforementioned Arachnotron, and even the Cyber Demon, all of whom behave as you'd expect. Others have gotten new facelifts to better match with the new setting, like the Pinky, who's now a mount with a Demon Archer riding him, and the new Cacodemon that hails from the Cosmic Realm. The Dark Ages even brings back the Vagary as a mini-boss who hasn't been seen since Doom 3. Overall, there's a nice variety in the enemies, and even those you've fought a million times before have a few new tricks to make them fit better in the Dark Ages combat. Speaking of enemies, it's worth mentioning as well that id has exponentially jacked up the number of on-screen nasties relative to Doom or Eternal. When you get a bird's-eye view of the battlefield, it truly looks like an all-out war against the minions of hell. This did lead to a bit of frustration for me early on, as I was often getting attacked from behind.
Yeah, I felt overwhelmed
without warning,
certain parts of this game.
Adjustment in how I approached certain combat encounters. I had to make sure that I was using my shield bash to disengage, in addition to engaging to keep them off my back. One noteworthy omission from the Dark Ages is the iconic chainsaw that has been used since Doom 2016 as a way to instantly kill a single enemy and regain ammo in the process. That has been replaced by an all-new melee system that lets you get up close and personal and engage in melee brawls that also restore your ammo. I do miss the satisfaction of sawing an imp or other small enemy in half, but this system works better for what Doom the Dark Ages is trying to achieve by again making you rush towards the fight rather than away from it. The ammo pickups for your melee attack are also much more plentiful than the gas for the chainsaw in either Doom 2016 or Eternal, making me run out of ammo far less, which was something that I very much appreciated. As far as the actual weapons go, the Dark Ages plays around a lot with the look of each weapon to give it an old-timey flavor, but the functions are generally all the same as what we've come to know and love from the series. All of the satisfyingly punchy stalwarts are accounted for.
the combat and super shotguns, an assault rifle that shoots out rail spikes instead of bullets, a plasma rifle, and a long-range single-shot weapon in the form of a satisfying steel ball launcher called the Steel Shot, just to name a handful. The only really unique weapon of the bunch is the Skull Crusher Pulverizer, which sort of behaves like the chain gun, but has a ridiculous spread that can just absolutely shred a football's field worth of fodder enemies. It's a fun weapon that goes great with the Dark Age's absolutely insane amount of on-screen enemies at once, even though I typically opted to use the shield throw to mow down the hordes of fodder, since there's an upgrade that powers up the shield charge when you do. One interesting twist for how the Dark Ages handles its arsenal is that just about every gun has a sister weapon that uses the same ammo type and can be hot swapped between with the press of a button. So, for example, along with a rocket launcher, there's a grenade launcher. In addition to the aforementioned pulverizer that does a little bit of damage spread out over a wide area, there's a Ravager that concentrates the fire to hit single enemies. It all adds up to a ton of variety in the gunplay. And while I was never forced to swap between my weapons in the same way that I was in Doom Eternal, I still found myself jumping from gun to gun, simply because it's fun. But the absolute best part about the toolbox in the Dark Ages is, and this is a credit to the weapon designers at id, because this is true for just about every Doom game, that every gun retains its usefulness throughout the entire game. Sure, I might have my favorites and gravitate more towards the Super Shotgun, Rocket Launcher, and Steel Shot, but even the early weapons stay relevant once you get some upgrades into them. If I'm low on armor, I can swap to the Combat Shotgun that I upgraded to ignite enemies and make them drop armor shards. If I need health, I can swap to the Ravager to make them bleed health pickups. And if I need to incapacitate an enemy while also dealing damage to others nearby, I can throw my shield into a baddie, shoot the shield, and watch as my bullets ricochet and hit everyone else around. To sweeten the pot, all of these abilities and weapons are sprinkled at a measured pace throughout the campaign. There was never even a chance for the gunplay to get stale, because every level would give me a new gun, or a new ability for my shield, or a new melee weapon, or I'd find enough gold to afford a new upgrade at the shop that would alter something I already had in a way that made me want to use it more. And it's this need to upgrade that fed into my desire to explore and find both upgrade currencies and the more traditional Doom collectibles like figurines, weapon skins, and lore pickups. Appropriately, the levels of the Dark Ages welcome that exploration with open arms. While they all vary in size, the smaller stages are still big by the series standards, and the big levels are gigantic. They're huge, open battlefields with tons of secrets, challenging enemy encounters, and more than a few breathtaking vistas. Breaking up all the running and gunning are giant mecha battles and flying sections where you pilot the Slayer's dragon. Yes, the Doom Slayer has a dragon, because why not? These sections are shallow compared to the rest of the Dark Ages, with the mecha sections amounting to little more than a simple game of dodge, punch, punch, dodge, punch, punch. And the dragon bits are little more than dodge, shoot, shoot, dodge, shoot, shoot. That said, they're kind of like a turret sequence in that they're infrequent and brief enough to never drag the pacing down, and they at least provide cool moments in the cutscenes that precede and follow them. And then there's the soundtrack. Holy hell. If you've played a Doom game before, you probably know what to expect going in, but even so, I was gleefully into it. It's another banger of a heavy metal soundtrack that had me coming back to certain levels after beating the campaign and just turning down all of the volume except for the music so I could listen without it being overpowered by the sounds of shotgun blasts, explosions, and dying demons. Far from just being more Doom, Doom the Dark Ages is a new flavor of the legendary shooter series that's heavier and more grounded, but no less energetic and exhilarating. The new shield is an outstanding addition that adds a ton of both offensive and defensive options, and when combined with the extensive arsenal of traditional Doom guns, provides a ton of fun and exciting ways to dispatch the hundreds upon thousands of demons that stand in your way. Add on top of that another pumped up heavy metal soundtrack backing the excellent weapon, level, and enemy design, and it has once again proven that like a super shotgun blast from point blank range, they don't miss.
June 7th and 8th, the ultimate fan event hits downtown LA. IGN Live, 2 days of gaming, entertainment, and full access to everything at the Magic Box in downtown LA. From live tapings of your favorite IGN shows, to celebrity panels, meet and greets, and hands-on game demos, this is where the biggest reveals drop first. Featuring the latest from Squid Game, Anno 117 Pax Romana, Critical Role, plus the official Xbox Watch Party only at IGN Live. And maybe even walk away with a brand new console, PC, and a mountain of merch. IGN Live, June 7th and 8th, Magic Box, downtown LA. Get your tickets now at IGN.com/live.
It's Brian Altano and Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, and Xbox announced today that they are doing some significant price hikes on all of their console hardware, as well as their peripherals and first-party software. Okay, well, this sucks, but before we break into that and why this is bad for the future of console gaming, let's break down the actual news itself. So, Ryan, the Series S 512 gigabyte will be going to $379.99. That's up from $299. Series S 1 terabyte, $429. That's up from $349.99. Series X Digital, $549.99, up from $449.99, and the Series X with a disk drive will be $599, up from $499.99, and the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition with the little stars on it will be
$600 for the
additionally, all of their controllers
regular Series
price
X
hikes along with their headsets. So even if you don't play games on Xbox consoles, but you like buying their controllers for PC gaming, it's going to be hard to avoid this price hike. Just immediate thoughts from you as somebody who's been covering Xbox and IGN for as long as I've known you.
Well, number one, the days of this isn't just Microsoft. This is clearly everybody now in terms of the days of consoles getting cheaper over the course of the generation. They're over, and they're never coming back. The Switch never got a price cut, as we are on the eve of the Switch 2's launch. The PlayStation 5 has only gone up in most territories, and I fully expect the US to follow soon here now that Microsoft has. That is actually why my PS5 is normally right there on top of my entertainment center. It is gone because I've packed it up, and as soon as we finish shooting this, I'm trading it in at GameStop for the PS5 Pro that I promised myself I was going to buy specifically for GTA 6 because I want the best GTA 6 experience I can get on day one. And there is just no doubt in my mind that Sony's going to increase prices soon as well. So I want to act now while the PS5 Pro is $700 before it goes to probably $800. We're in a weird new era. It's not just about tariffs, although that seems to be accelerating everything. And I know that gets political and people instantly get fired up about that one way or the other. But the bottom line is console gaming is getting more and more expensive. Microsoft clearly is not willing to sell their Xbox consoles at a loss, pardon me, in order to try and get more out there and move more software which does track with their strategy of everything's an Xbox, we're just going to put our games on everything. So they're basically saying, well, if you want to play on our machines, cool, but it's going to cost you. And I can't believe, Brian, that the $599 US that the PS3 made famous is now applicable to the half-decade-old Xbox Series X. It's insanity, my friend.
It's nuts. So yeah, let's go through this real quick. So like you said, for generations, consoles got price drops. That was always the deal, right? You got there early on. If you were an early adopter, launch day, you had a limited selection of games to play, maybe some really great first day games and launch games, right? Some of the greatest games of all time launched on day one. Stuff like Super Mario 64. Halo. Breath of the Wild. Halo. So the deal was over time, the library got bigger, but also the price got smaller. And so did the system sometimes, right? It got slim redesigns. True. With the Switch, we never really saw that. We did see the Switch Lite, which, chopped off the entire purpose of what the naming convention of the console is, since it doesn't actually switch. But that was the deal forever. And when that happened for so long, what came with it was millions and millions of new people coming into a console's ecosystem for the first time. Guys like you and me have been buying consoles on launch day for our whole lives. We'll always do that, right? But the success of a system, when a system goes on to become the best-selling or second best-selling or third best-selling system of all time, it's because eventually it got a software lineup that was, affordable and large and deep, and it got significant price cuts where people could come to the table. We saw two things happen this generation.
Yeah.
That's not
especially with
happening
Xbox, bro. They tweaking with that, bro.
A few weeks ago,
them price hikes,
Nintendo,
they tweaking.
who was late to the party on getting to $70 games, they did it with Tears of the Kingdom. This is years after everyone else had already done that. Decided, hey, we're launching our first $80 game. And today,
Yeah, I'm gonna
said,
wait for
hey,
the
they can sell Mario
Switch
Kart
2.
for $80.
I'm gonna wait.
Then why can't we sell Call of Duty for $80 or any other first-party games? And so I think now, like, that the $70 game era is pretty much over, right, for the most part. I think we are now moving into an $80 territory. So we're seeing software go up, we're seeing hardware go up or stay the same in price throughout the entire generation. And I'm genuinely starting to get worried about what this means for the long tail of this hobby. I think that there are so many ways to approach console gaming right now as understanding that it's a place where you can play, you know, amazing exclusives without any of the sort of the kickback or the annoyances that come with, you know, sort of fiddling with all the things you need to do to make a PC game run for the average consumer. Some people just don't want to do that, right? But at the same time, pricing the average consumer out of that experience while simultaneously putting a lot of those first-party exclusive games everywhere, you know, not including things like Mario Kart, is going to push people into playing games elsewhere for good. And I think that you, in the long term, are going to lose the console market as a whole. I think the console experience will go away. It'll become sort of a niche thing. And I think that people are just not going to have nostalgia for it in 10, 15, 20 years like they do now.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the console market peak. Like, Microsoft has talked about this. It's a big reason for their strategy. I mean, a big reason. Another big reason is they can't convince anybody with their lineup to buy an Xbox console to play those games. Thankfully, that's getting better, although now they've, of course, kind of walked away from that and are just putting their games on everything, which I think could actually prove out to be a winning strategy in time. But yeah, the console market, as Microsoft has noted in the recent past, it's peaked. Like, it is not growing because more and more players are playing games on phones, and PC gaming is growing. I just had a new PC built myself because, I mean, partially it's because I'm lucky enough to do this for a living, and so I can justify it that way. But also, it's a great way to get the best experience, best version of just about everything that's not made by Nintendo now. But yeah, it's the market is changing and evolving. I mean, but it is fair to look at the demographic, the younger generation of players too, where they don't have the tribalism that you and I grew up with the Sega Nintendo battles on the playground. They just want to play whatever the game is, Fortnite or what have you, Minecraft, on whatever device is most convenient to them, whether that's a PC that they happen to be sitting at, an iPad that they're on the couch with, a phone, a console, whatever it is. I mean, Minecraft was still, for the month of March, this data just came out this week, Minecraft was the number, I believe, 12 selling game in the month of March, even though it's already the best-selling game of all time. But that's across all platforms. If that game were locked to Xbox, it would certainly not be selling what it's selling. But yeah, you're absolutely right, though, is if the prices on gaming keep going up, like, I know a lot of people want to point to these and say, well, we pay $1,000 for these every 2 or 3 years. Some people do it every year, but I would counter that with smartphones are, in a first world way, a borderline necessity. Like, you can really justify it. Like, well, I do my banking on here, and my social media, and my messaging, and my email, and this and that, and my gaming. But a console, a video game, is pretty hard to justify as essential. It is for you and I in our jobs, and we're very lucky in that way, but it's still, for 99.9% of people, gaming, and specifically console gaming, is a hobby. It is not something that is just a must. Now, you and I have seen, we've been around long enough that we've seen recessions come and go, and gaming has historically been pretty recession-proof. Yeah. But these changes we're seeing now, with these prices going up, not just with Microsoft, but as you mentioned, Nintendo and probably Sony following suit here in the US, is gaming going to continue to be recession-proof? Because if the answer switches from the historical yes to no, as you noted, that's really, really problematic for the long-term future of gaming.
Yeah, so I completely agree. I don't think this means the death of gaming as we know it. I think that it means that the death of traditional console gaming as we know it could be closer than we want it to be. And I think that's in the pursuit of short-term gains. I think that a company like Microsoft right now could weather the storm a little bit better and take some of their war chest and maybe not sell $730 consoles that they're also telling you don't really need to buy. Because that's sort of a slap in the face of the few hardcore people who are still like, I'm excited for the next Xbox, I'm going to buy the next console. We know they're making more hardware in the future. We know that from official statements and leaks and et cetera. But I do think that in the short term, if you're, like you said, somebody with a phone or a PC, it's pretty easy to convince your phone or your PC to act like a console. But you can't really make your console act like a phone or a PC. Those are walled gardens. Those are places where historically you go to play exclusive games. Companies now have realized that it's too expensive to make games for one platform. Again, outside of Nintendo, they're the ones that sort of like, they're the weird elephant in the room right now. But they've decided, PlayStation's doing this, Xbox is doing this. We're going to put our games on PC. Xbox is also putting their games on PlayStation to, incredible success. They had some of the best-selling games last month on PS5, which is just nuts to think about. Like, for people like us who've been doing this for a long time, to pause and go, hey, look at the top of the charts on PlayStation, outside of the, games as a service games people play every day. It's like a bunch of Xbox stuff. And so, yeah, it all makes sense for them. But in terms of the box that you buy that play video games that you put underneath your TV, I think that if we keep going down this path of making it so it's less and less accessible financially for the average person to come in and play, for the average kid to save up for the average...
The Madden player, the Grand Theft Auto player.
All those people, right? I think that eventually you'll move away from that. And, we could be wrong. The Nintendo Switch, I tried to pre-order one. I was right there with you. That was a pain in the butt. Seems like it's going to be a hit. Seems like it's going to sell really well. Will it hit the same numbers as Switch 1? I don't think so. Will the PS6 hit the same numbers as the PS5? Who knows? Remains to be seen. But I do think that, watching prices of consoles go up and up and up over time is unprecedented. Watching games go up, $10, $20 in just a few years if you're a Nintendo fan, is unprecedented. I think that almost certainly we're going to see a $70 or $80 Call of Duty this fall. We're going to see at least an $80 GTA. That conversation.
Take it to the bank. $99.99. Yeah. Let's just say it now because it's. I'm not trying to will it into existence, but it's.
It's just why not, right?
Of course,
Everyone's playing chicken to see how close they can get, and as long as these things keep selling well and they keep doing well enough, then they're just going to keep pushing it. And so. Yeah, I think all of that is it's going to make numerous profits for a lot of great, powerful CEOs and shareholders in the short term. But I think in the long term, not having generations and generations of people growing up with consoles and having the nostalgia that comes with them is going to change the face of gaming forever. People will still find ways to play games; they always will, and video games will always be awesome. But I think that console gaming, as we know it, is beginning to change for the worse, possibly forever.
And not only that, it's not only you're talking about the players, which you and I are. We don't make games, but when I think about the people that make games, it's been brutal in the industry with layoffs, the last studio closures, the last few years here, and it would be one thing if I felt confident that $80 games were going to mean that studios were going to stay healthy, and
we almost got 30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes.
Sold just okay on their game, that they were still going to have a job the next month. But very cynically, in this age of 8-figure executive pay and a continued and unending thirst from shareholders for more profits, I have absolutely no faith that $80 game prices, increasing game prices, is going to translate to more stability for the artists that make these amazing games. I just feel like it's all going to go into executives' pockets and into shareholders' share value. And it's just, I know that's like...
Yes, sir, the countdown is on.
Optimistic, but
Yes, sir. When they get down to like 10 minutes, I'm gonna go to the PlayStation. Go to the official channel to watch it.
You're 100% correct. Like I don't really think that like you know the average person watching this video who loves video games,
sir.
they're gonna begrudgingly go to the store and be like, well, I can't not play GTA 6 or I need that new Call of Duty or Mario Kart, and I don't think that money is going to instantly translate to safety nets for the people making games. So I think you're 100.
This is IGN Summer of Gaming, and today it's all about Sony PlayStation. The PS5 has sold more than 70 million units, and the PS5 Pro is the most powerful console in history. But Sony's future plans are shrouded in secrecy, with Ghost of Yotei, Marathon, and Death Stranding 2 dropping in the coming months. What's in store beyond that? Will we get a closer look at Naughty Dog's Intergalactic The Heretic?
Oh yeah, Naughty Dog have been working on something new.
An official announcement of the long-rumored Horizon Online. Or maybe a long overdue reveal of Insomniac's Wolverine game in action.
Yo,
we'll
I think we're gonna get Wolverine, bro.
The IGN Summer of Gaming PlayStation Showcase pre-show starts right now.
Hold on. Let's go to Is it on IG? Let's go to PlayStation, bro. We gotta see how PlayStation doing something. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, that's Maximilian. Where's PlayStation's? Oh yeah, here we go. They're probably not doing nothing yet. Yeah, so we'll go back to IGN. Yeah, still say upcoming, so let's go to IGN and watch their pre-show. Here we go, this Nintendo Switch. Bro, that should drop at midnight.
And all that, we should talk about some of the things that are known quantities that we know are kind of coming up very shortly. We have a very big PlayStation 5 exclusive coming down the pipe very soon with Death Stranding 2, which drops on June 26th. Jada, do you think we're going to see that?
Death Stranding 2, yeah, I think it's now this time to kind of hit that mass audience and just show a little bit more before it comes out, so people are even more hyped.
Brian?
I'm 50-50 on if we'll see this today. This feels like a Summer Games Fest joint, but we'll see. It's very close either way.
I don't think we'll see it. I don't think we'll see it. I mean, how much more weird can they get with it at this point? I think it's about to be out. I think surely at this point they're ready to show something new, because Sony have been a little bit tight-fisted of late on showing new things. I think it's about time that they actually came out of the gate and showed us something new.
Exactly.
I would like that a whole lot. Again, there's a bunch of sort of known quantity things that we've been kind of sitting on. The next big thing after Death Stranding 2 is Marathon, which is coming out on September 23rd. I feel like we might see...
I think we're going to get a bunch of that, because we've not really had much gameplay on that yet, and I think there's been a lot of talk about it for ages. We've had some gorgeous trailers that they've had some bad hype with in the news lately. I think they need to come out strong and be like, this is the game, this is what it looks like, this is how it's going to play. They have a lot of sort of explaining to do, I think, around that game.
Yes. It's been some bad PR, but I don't know if that's going to give them enough time to spin up a new trailer. Maybe they had one in the chamber already, and the timing hasn't been great. Maybe it'll work in their favor, but yeah, we'll see with that one.
I feel like a really strong thing for that would be a big, huge public beta. Let lots of people come in and get their hands on it. I think that was a big missed opportunity for Concord last year. Was that just last year?
That was last year.
That was last year,
Yeah, I mean, I remember just Sony slept on Gamescom. That seemed like it could have been a cool chance for a lot of people to play a brand new game that Sony was showing off, that they didn't do anything with that.
I mean, they did have that weekend of PlayStation Plus for Concord. I think they did 2 weekends of it, but yeah, missing Gamescom I think was a big death knell for
honestly,
it.
just open the floodgates, let people get their hands on
Yeah,
this
I mean, anytime you've got these multiplayer games where your audience, mass audience, is the key to success, you just need to get people in the front door and trying your product. So that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, while we're on the live service subject, there's also Fair Games, which the last we heard about that is that Jade Raymond, who's the studio founder, had left to go do something else, which
always a great sign.
That bodes really well.
That was last we heard.
So do you think we'll see it? No, I do not think we'll see it.
I don't think so.
I think if we see it, it's going to be telling us that it's not coming out this year. It's going to be maybe a little.
I don't think it's coming out ever.
You don't think so?
No.
Oof. Bold claims. All right. Okay, well, the other thing is Ghost of Yote, which is, I feel like, a much more safe bet, known quantity. Very excited for this one. That is coming out October 2nd. You think we're going to see that?
I think we are definitely seeing Ghost of Yote today.
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of that.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's their next
That's
big
going to
game
be.
this
I think
year.
that's the anchor game of this whole thing.
I agree. I think it'll be that, and then there'll be like a one more surprise thing. But Yote is, everyone has eyes on this game right now. Everyone's excited for it. We have a release date confirmed. We know when it's happening. We know GTA 6 is not happening this year. We were worried about a lot of those jamming up against each other. So yeah, I want to see more Yote. I want to see, collector's edition stuff, and yeah, just kind of blow the lid off a couple more details.
You don't think Yote will get like its own state of play or showcase like for itself?
I mean, Borderlands did, so maybe you're onto something.
I think
yeah.
that would be a smart move because, again, like anybody who's not sold on this game at this point, like what are they going to do? What are they going to bury in the middle of a bunch of other trailers that's going to get people's attention? I think
Right.
the smart move would be wait for a week that isn't, dancing on the grave of E3 and show off something
Dang.
new, like, I don't know.
Dancing on the grave
around
of E3
Comic-Con or
is
something,
crazy.
Not even around Comic-Con, just some random ass week. Just get it out there, show it to people when it's, maybe announce it more than 20 minutes in advance. Get people to
Could help.
Like again, with the Borderlands thing, that was, I think, a smart move to be like, hey, we could show you 15 minutes of Borderlands right now, but you might not want to stick around for that if you're just here to kind of casually watch some other things. But if you like Borderlands, mark your calendars. We got another thing coming up. So I hope it's something like that. As for other PlayStation stuff, we got kind of a look ahead into next year. There's Saros, the new thing from Housemarque, which has got Raul Coley in it. We got a cool cinematic trailer for that was that the Game Awards?
Yes.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it mixed up because there was the Game Awards and there was a little. There was the
I think we'll get
February-
we might get gameplay on
Yeah.
that. It would be good to get gameplay on that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
hyped
love
for that
that.
one. Housemarque makes awesome games, and I'm really excited for this. Like, just the art direction so far has been really cool. I can't wait to see. Like, they've made basically like arcade shooters, and that have also been masterful tech demos for how powerful a system's hardware could be, and that's kind of been their thing for a really long time. So yeah, I really dig this game. I can't wait to see it in action. Returnal was like such a good game.
It's one of my favorites on the PlayStation 5, and I'm very excited to see where they evolve from the lessons they learned in Returnal, because Returnal is still one of the best games that take advantage of the DualSense. So it would be really interesting to see where they're kind of taking that even further for Saros. This game looks fantastic. It's so gorgeous. It's
No.
all CG, but
again, this. If the game looks this good, I'll be very impressed. I'm sure it'll look great. We're all. I mean, do we know for sure that it's a spiritual successor to Returnal, or are we all?
I don't think it's.
I think we're just assuming.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. They said before they announced this that they were doing something different that they
Right.
hadn't done for their next game. So I don't think it is going to be Returnal, but I think it is still going to have some of those, maybe not mechanics specifically, but I think it's going to pull some of the gameplay aspects, the third-person shooting, the quick mobility, the dodging. I think that type of stuff will still be there, but I think it's going to be a very different.
I mean,
game.
that last shot where you see the reflection in his eye of what is
Iconic
basically
circular bullet pattern.
bullet hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, I don't know. That's always odd to me to be like, here's this incredibly realistic person, and then shapes moving in patterns that they probably wouldn't in real life.
So like, here's the spread gun from Contra.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Wolverine.
Man, I would love some Wolverine, but
Don't we say that at the beginning of every days?
Yeah.
I'm feeling optimistic
I think
this
we'll
time.
See, I think like, we've been talking about the possibility of a Venom game.
Venom. Oh yeah,
as
they
the
do got a
sort of
Venom game.
Miles
Yeah.
Morales equivalent. I think we'll see that rather than Wolverine. If we see anything.
I'm wearing a shirt that has little Wolverines on it. I really hope we see Wolverine today. Max and I were talking before we started recording today. It's been 4 years.
4
since the
years,
original
bro.
teaser
4
trailer.
years.
I think the leak that happened a year or two ago kind of messed a lot of stuff up for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it was not something they were banking on or expecting. And a lot of gameplay footage came out of that was obviously very early. That stuff is out there, but this is really exciting to me because like combat-wise, I love the Spider-Man games. I'm really fascinated to see how Insomniac can translate that to a sort of grittier, more grounded game that isn't about whipping and flipping across a Manhattan skyline, but instead, I don't know, beating up some people in a bar in Canada.
Using your claws to climb up a building in Toronto or whatever.
Sure, yeah, we're on the same page here. I'm into that. But yeah, just show it to me. It's been so long.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do anything kind of to get in front of the leaks, because all this stuff showed up. Right. I feel like that would have been a good kind of just like, hey, yeah, lights are still on. Here's what it's going to be, sort of, just any sign of life here. But
this character was in a billion-dollar movie last year, and you think that would have been a pretty interesting time to be like, hey, here's a screenshot, here's something, and no, he's just been hiding in this bar.
I mean, but if they're not ready to show it, they're not ready to show it, and
Yeah.
that's fine. And I'd rather them wait and take their time to show anything than to show something that's going to drastically change over the course of the next 3-4 years whenever this game eventually releases, and people are like, oh, why doesn't look like this? This was in the trailer, now it doesn't look like this. Because the internet does that. The internet's going to internet.
That's the thing that Sony is constantly trying to, I mean, really everyone is trying to balance, is revealing something, too far in advance or not showing enough, Like we got Wolverine 4 years ago, and we're still waiting around wondering where it is. What's the alternative to that? They show us like a little tidbit every 6 months, and we're like, we're tired. Show us put the game out already. Like, it's either.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that 4 years is too long to just have one teaser trailer.
Mhm.
It's just too,
Yes.
and I understand that
Yeah.
the nature of development now is everything lasts for, it goes on forever, and it takes $1 million and billions of dollars and 100 people to make anything. But 4 years is too long for a teaser.
Okay, so what about like 7 years or something like
Uh-oh.
that? Because I feel I
7
feel like
years?
we gotta
Fuck
look
no.
at Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, the next big thing from Naughty Dog. That was at the Game Awards. That looks cool.
Yeah.
And then Bloomberg is saying that that's not releasing until 2027 at the soonest, which is, that's a wait.
That's okay, because you're going to have a remaster of The Last of Us to play
Again?
each year. Yeah, they're going to remaster it again. Just
All right.
they'll do it. We'll put it on Switch too.
Are they going to do an Ellie edition?
Sure.
They'll do an edition where they just map all the models from the TV show onto everything,
there you
so
go.
you can play the TV version of it.
I hate that you put that into the world, because they're
gonna do that, right?
Well, there's plenty more to talk about. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we're going to talk more State of Play predictions after this. Stick around.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by Mind's Eye. Pre-order now. Hey, what are you doing on June 7th and 8th? If you said anything but going to IGN Live, you're missing out. Get hands-on with new and upcoming games, be front row for celebrity interviews, developer deep dives,
And welcome to IGN Live.
live tapings of all your favorite IGN shows,
Roll the thing.
free merch, exclusive looks at what's new from Netflix, Xbox, IDW, 2K Sports, and more. It's a huge party, and you're invited.
Real fans, and I love that.
Get your tickets today at IGN.com/live.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your game.
Just gonna switch over to PlayStation now.
Exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
This should have a countdown coming. Live in, gonna be live in 16 minutes. Keep it on there. Yes, sir. 9 minutes. This thing about to get started. Can't see what they got going today. Yeah, see? Right, Finny? Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Yeah, I hope my boy Dwayne come back on so he can catch some of this while he at work. Chrono Trigger remake incoming. Let's see. Okay, my boy here. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, fire. Yeah, I just got some chicken thawing out right now in the kitchen. It should be thawed out. So once I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna go season it and cook it. Okay, I'm gonna make some dinner tonight. Probably some chicken and rice and some asparagus. Man, I hope PlayStation don't disappoint me, man. Come on, they gotta come through. Cause then, bro, like, all I have left is Xbox on Friday. And then, of course, Nintendo probably Tuesday. But we already know what they're gonna be showing. More Mario Kart and stuff. Three minutes. Me, you okay, bub? Oh yeah. Oh you getting the Switch 2 tonight, right? Inferno. Okay, okay. I'm gonna get it like maybe next month. I'm gonna wait for a little bit because I heard like people uh that were pre-ordering were getting their money were getting refunded and stuff. So I want to wait until they have like make sure they have enough in stock so I could grab get one. Make sure I'll be able to get one. You gonna stream or are you gonna do like a unboxing or anything like that? Okay, if you do like a unboxing or anything or like what stream while you doing, I'll tap in. All right, here we go, guys. One a.m. Okay. Is that Eastern time? Okay, man. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, man. Eastern time, okay, for sure, for sure. Oh man, I hope they don't copyright strike me, bro. Is this a rhythm-based game again?
Running through our veins, heartbeat. Love is making waves.
Okay, I guess rhythm-based games are coming back.
Hello from Enhance. I'm Tetsuya Mizuguchi.
ディレクターの石原隆です。ルミネスアライズのトレーラー楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。この秋、プレイステーション5、PSVR2 対応で発売予定です。
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
ルミネスアライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と 美しいビジュアルが没入感を高め、いつまでも遊びたくなるゲーム体験となっています。
They didn't give me the warning yet. The warning pops up in my OBS.
の世界へと導きます。
まあよくある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。テトリスエフェクトを一度遊んだことがある人はわかると思いますが、ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではありません。
夏にシングルとマルチプレイの体験版を配信予定です。ぜひ皆さん手に取って遊んでみてください。
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation.
Let's see about getting passed through to Earth. And why are these things trying to kill us?
There you are. All better.
Oh, this is the one game. They announced this like almost 5 years ago. They fixed it though.
I am DI03367. They are pragmatic.
Whoa, hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something? I'm good. Get behind me.
I think I can help.
Targets identified.
Yeah, that's weird. They did. Yeah, they started with a puzzle game.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls, hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Yeah, programmer. Yeah, that. They announced this like 5 years ago at the PS5 reveal. Damn, and it's just now.
Okay.
Just now about to come out.
How about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Yeah, bro, 5 years ago. So it's coming out next. Damn, bro. They wild, bro. Damn, they've been working on this a long time. Bro, that's why I said, bro, I don't think they should bring out a PlayStation 6 so soon, bro. Cause they just now getting to the games they announced like almost 6 years ago, bro.
Apparently the Crown Present is actually a humane. What does that mean? It's okay. I'll get it. Romeo! Stay with me!
He got half his face blown off.
Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds.
He got 8 off.
Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The Dead Gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
Yeah, I'm saying. But it's good to see like that they actually put work into that game because it didn't look like that 5 years ago.
Dead man. From now on, you're dead man.
Romeo is a dead man. Yes, they should. And I heard that they already like talking about the PS6 already. Like it may be coming out like 2027. This looks good.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026. Maybe.
Yeah, next year everything is coming out next year.
That was Grandpa's
He said
voice.
maybe next
Were
year.
you like a spirit? I'm on your back. What?
Music is good.
皆さんこんにちは。グラスホッパーマネクチャーの須田剛一です。いえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作ロミオ・イザ・デッドマンです。いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね、主人公のロミオが
Yes, sir.
スターゲーザーという名前なんですが、かっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪 FBI 捜査官として、凶悪なですね指名手配犯をさまざまな時空に飛んで、倒していく、そんな、ブラッディなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません、銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、チーム一丸となって頑張って作ってます。そしてなんで、タイトルがですねロミオなのにデッドマンなのか、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。プレイステーション30周年過ぎちゃいましたけどおめでとうございます。それでは引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
Is this the Silent Hill game? I think. The other one. It's another Silent Hill game coming out. I don't think. I think. I want to say this is the other Silent Hill game. Yeah. See, I knew it. I mean, bro, we already got Silent Hill 2 remake. I don't think they should have showed this one. I ain't gonna lie, I might get this though. I might get this one. I ain't gonna even front. Ooh. Yeah, this might be a day one pickup right here.
いるの？ひな子はいいよね。何でも持ってる。そんなあんたがいなくなってくれるんだからせいせいする。
Oh man.
一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。
Bro, this game looks more terrifying than Silent Hill 2 Remake.
約束したよね。暗いのは嫌。一人ぼっちは嫌。
Ooh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, this is a day one pickup right here. Yeah, day one pickup. September? Oh yeah, I'm grabbing that. I'm getting that. And it's running through Unreal Engine. Yeah. Around 16th century. Not actual gameplay.
The castle has been sighted again. The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped.
We will track the ethereal.
This is Castlevania?
Break its gates.
No, this can't be Castlevania. No, I thought it was a new Castlevania. I ain't see no whips.
Will fall by our hand.
This mission will test the limits of your courage.
You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
What is? It looks good. Oh, he can eat. Let me just help. Oh yeah, this look dope.
With me. Cross.
Tonight, we start our mission.
Okay, bless things. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah.
So you've come, dogs of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I can't quite put into words. You've somehow been sent back in time 8 years. But the situation here is critical. I'm counting on you, Agent. Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron life form.
What's this, like a
Is that
JRPG?
what you call us, Digimon? I'll always
Digimon?
be right here with you.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that?
You really don't know anything about the digital world?
We have been enemies for years now, but this is the first time the Titans have launched an attack on this scale.
We now believe most of the anomalies we've been dealing with stem from Digimon.
It seems the
Oh,
upcoming
snaps,
battle is
Digimon.
truly unavoidable.
The world on this end is running out of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
The world tree has been attacked. It is just as the great one, Plutomon, said.
It can't protect anyone. We must protect the world from them. For this purpose and this purpose alone were you born.
If that thing opens, then we'll be swarmed by Digimon.
Attack! Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Everything's riding on
to
you.
move forward into the future.
We must fulfill our mission. Agent.
Okay. October. Okay, Digimon, alright. Square Enix, what we doing? Ooh, what we doing? What we doing, Square Enix? Yeah, this was rumored. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
If you feel wrong, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
Yeah, this was rumored.
When your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
We hope you enjoyed that first look at Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic. The enhanced version, which features improved graphics, fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay, and much more, as well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles launches on PS5 and PS4 September 30th, and will be available for pre-order later today.
This next game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
But is there maybe just toilet?
Toilet?
Yeah, sorry, I just need to pee.
How bad?
Just normal. Bad.
Just go behind this bush. I'll wait.
I can run away.
Pea shy.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't want me watching.
You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which is easier said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress. It's a captivating open-world experience filled with oddball characters.
Here we go. Knock on. Oh, you found it even without a map. The best toilet on the mountain.
Oh, good.
Definitely check this one out when it comes to PS5 on September 8th.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
Hirogami is a unique action
It
adventure
might
title from
come like
Bandai Namco
later on.
Studios, Singapore. In this journey to save your origami home, you'll transform into paper shapes with distinct abilities, including a paper airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo, and a powerful ape.
Looks neat.
Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer. Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean. The Hot Shots series has been with PlayStation from the
Oh,
very
the
beginning,
golf game.
and its
Hot
latest
Shots.
installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever.
I seen that they announced this on for the Switch
In
2.
courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today, and those who do will get Bandai Namco's
Hey,
iconic
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man as an early unlockable character. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots drives onto PS5 September 5th.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a challenging new entry in the long-running action franchise.
Yeah, Inferno. I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna kill this one right here. I know you're gonna crush it on here.
Dual protagonists from rival clans forced to combine their souls and skills against a demon uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack featuring guest composers from the original series. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound arrives July 31st on PS5 and PS4. From the game makers, Cairn is a survival climbing experience where you must carefully plan your ascent up a deadly mountain. Manage balance and stamina to discover secrets.
Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other climbers.
I'm Marco. Nice to meet you.
And survive the harsh conditions of the climb. You can give it a try yourself with a demo that arrives later today. That's all from us, but there's still a lot of State of Play to come.
This next reveal comes from the game preservationist at Digital Eclipse. Nothing can prepare you for their next collection, arriving later this year.
Finn, sit down in your bed.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play. People were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
We knew that we were onto something.
Mortal Kombat?
It was such a shock to see this game. I was like, I can't believe this game exists.
Oh, they have a Mortal Kombat collection coming out?
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
Or is this a document?
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
What's gonna be like a documentary or something? Oh yeah, collection ever.
There was no template to make the games. It's a bit of the Wild West.
Every part of that game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Oh, the Legacy Collection. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it took a long time for them to do this. What is this? Oh, this is the arcade stick? Yep, the arcade stick.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an
Metal Gear! Oh, I got this pre-order, man. Where did he go? That boy had an alligator head on his head. Look at him.
Loading like this, it's a revolution.
All right, Commander.
Baby.
Take this. Here comes another one.
I can't wait, dog.
You won't get away from me.
Time for you to taste some real pain.
What's the matter? I'm over here. Go back to your own world. See you in hell.
Yes, sir. Snake be kicking ass. Monkey ball.
Gotcha.
Yes, well, I got that thing pre-ordered. Wait. And more, what, bro?
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams.
Tecmo.
Since time immemorial, this power has been
Bro, I can't
the
wait, bro.
impetus for human wars.
Is this the Ninja Gaiden? I mean, the Ninja Gaiden, this the new one? No, this not Ninja Gaiden. I thought it was the new one. The new one, I'm getting it on Game Pass. Ninja Gaiden 4. I thought this was it.
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
Damn.
How foolish of you to have entered the
This look
depths
good.
of hell.
Oh, okay. That look good.
Who might you be, warrior? Tokugawa Takechiyo.
皆さんこんにちは。チーム忍者の安田です。戦国死にゲーシリーズの最新作「2王3」をついに発表させていただきました。今作のアクションはシリーズおなじみの侍スタイルに加え、新たに忍者スタイルを追加、より多彩な戦闘を楽しめます。ステージもオープンフィールドとなり、探索や攻略の自由度や没入感が大幅にアップしています。本日よりプレイステーション5で体験版も配信いたしますので、ぜひプレイしてご意見をいただければと思います。2026年の発売に向け、続報にもぜひご期待ください。
Oh, coming next year.
No one knows how old the city really is. For me, it's all I've ever known. My whole world. I was raised in this city's shadow.
Oh, the game? Yeah. It's sort of like the Ninja Gaiden. It's just like Ninja Gaiden. I like the Ninja Gaiden games. Well, I had beat the Ninja Gaiden Black. I had beat that on stream, on live stream, like I think it was like last year.
This city hides many lost and
No,
legendary treasures.
it was earlier this year, actually. Earlier this year.
Locked away, waiting to be found, waiting to be taken.
I got the VR, man, the PlayStation VR. It just make me nauseous sometimes when I play it.
Come with more trouble than others.
I thought I was dead. And who are you?
Tidewalker, are you there yet? Cleo has uncovered a formula for a cure, but she's keeping it safe in her tower.
Hey, you got some hosen?
Market Land seems a bit tense today. I heard something happen with another Tidewalker.
Dang, bro. Time almost up. I heard this is gonna be like 45 minutes. Bro, they're not really showing nothing really.
Ever since the
Like
Great
everything they
Flood,
show, like
Elend,
we already
my
seen,
dear
bro.
planet has been dying. Plastemia has taken everything from us. But you Tidewalkers are all connected.
Hey, you stop right there!
And it's up to you now to use that power.
Marauders, this is our new recruit!
Please, help me.
Get down!
Tidewalkers, will you help us?
Yeah, this is a hard pass. Ties up tomorrow. I'll pass on this one.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Ducey, the game director of Astrobot. It's a pleasure to be back today to share more news with you. What the last few months it has been in the world of Astro. Astrobot launched last
Bro, this was
September
game of
to
the year.
such encouraging feedback, even receiving a few honors. We are truly
This little guy
grateful
made
for.
game of the year, man.
In October, we added 5 speedrun levels, followed by a Christmas special packed with festive surprises. And then earlier this year, the Vicious Void Galaxy made its appearance, adding yet more new challenges.
Retro, what's good, what's good?
All of which came at no additional cost.
Snake Eater, come on,
Today,
man.
am pleased to
I pre-ordered
announce
that thing.
later this month,
You
will be able to enjoy
Snake Eater
5
is
brand
lit.
new challenge levels in Astrobot, bringing the total to a whopping 90 planets. And new special bots will be there too, including Atsu from Ghost of Yotei, alongside other fans' favorites, but these ones are a surprise. And finally, the Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return later this year.
Oh,
with a
okay.
slight twist.
Because
So
I
be
did
on the
miss
lookout for more news
the
coming soon.
drop of that. I'm
From all
gonna
of
grab
us
it this
at
time.
Team Asobi, thank you all for the amazing reception you gave our game, and enjoy the rest of the show.
My old man always said to me, he told me, get a ship. Then it hit me all so clear. No old man.
Yeah, Retro, that Snake Eater trailer was fire, bro.
Memories go, memories stay. Chasing the sound of the
Especially the monkey ball challenges.
It always sways, it always strays. Standing on the beach all day. Whoa, 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 whoa.
666. Dang. Oh, so this is sort of like a RPG, sort of. What is he? What is he like a? It's like made of wood. Oh, he just look like they just look like that. Oh, he passed him the the musket. The handheld musket. Yep, indie game. It wouldn't be a state of play if they didn't throw in like one of the indie games. Nice. Sort of deceit. Look interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Zatani. That was a new look at Sword of the Sea, a visually striking adventure from the team behind Abzu and Pathless. We're excited to announce that Sword of the Sea will launch this summer into the PlayStation Plus game catalog.
Okay.
On June 17th, Remedy brings otherworldly action to game catalog with FBC Firebreak. In this cooperative FPS set in the paranatural world of Control, you and two fellow agents must confront and contain the reality-warping chaos found within the oldest house. Fun in short bursts or deep dives, FBC Firebreak launches day one into game catalog on June 17th.
Okay. Okay, PlayStation, y'all trying to be like Xbox.
The PlayStation Plus Classics catalog welcomes several new titles this summer. The PS2 version of legendary immersive sim Deus Ex arrives June 17th. In July,
Twisted Metal
3 and Twisted Metal 4 join the service.
Hey, I can't wait for the new
just in time
season
the
of
second
Twisted
season
Metal
premiere
to
of
show.
Twisted Metal,
Season
which arrives
2.
July 31st in select countries, including Peacock in the US. Additionally, two of Capcom's most beloved games from the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup.
Okay.
Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 will arrive later this
Resident
summer
Evil 2.
in the Classics catalog.
I'm here for the Resident Evil 2.
Additionally, Myst and Riven will arrive later this month as
Myst,
part
I
of
used
the
to play
Days of
Myst
Play
on
celebration,
I used to
running
play
now
on
through
PC.
June 11th. Days of Play is a 2-week event that includes bonus PlayStation Plus content drops, great deals on software and hardware, and more. Visit PlayStation Blog and PlayStation.com for full details.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement.
I don't think we get the
Nobody
Wolverine
knows what to
game
do with
or
him,
the
No. And I suspect he feels
Kingdom
the same
Hearts.
way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet.
Oh,
without a target.
yeah, this was leaked
Let's
that a
give
new
him one.
Bond game was coming.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
Oh,
you shouldn't have.
Oh, snaps. Yeah, that boy can go through training?
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on board.
2029. That's what it seemed like.
The manipulator. Whatever the end game is, we won't see it coming.
I wouldn't play a Bond game on PlayStation. I'll play it on Xbox.
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
It's old school Aston Martin?
Tell me, what do you do, James? Lately, headhunting.
First Light. Yeah, I think I'll pass on this too.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
Yeah, doesn't look too appealing. I'm gonna pass on. Oh, they got the golden gun on there. Okay.
Hello, I'm Hakan Abrak, CEO of Iron Interactive. The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Flight. You'll experience James Bond as a young air crewman in the Royal Navy. Before the tuxedo and the martinis, as he first steps into the world of espionage, striving to earn his 00 status. Everyone at Iron Interactive has poured their passion and dedication into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years of agent expertise. This is just the beginning of our journey with 007, and we can't wait to share more with you soon.
Come on, please say Insomniac yet. Nope, no Insomniac yet. Damn, got excited. But this the new Ghost game, right? The like the sequel to the other Ghost of Tsushima or something like that.
You're still with me?
Yeah, she's got a wolf companion with her. Yeah. Oh, they got another state of play coming in July. Okay.
自由のために戦う。さあ、お手並み拝見といこう。君のことは親友だと思っているが、やるしかないようだな。ビブラニウムのシールドだけでは私のアーマーには勝てないぞ。よし。本気でやるぞ。
Oh, it's a fighting game. Oh shit. Oh, yo, day one buy, dog. Oh, dude from Guardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, Ghost Rider. Ooh, Dr. Doom. Ooh, Storm.
たとえ人々に嫌われていても、私は世界を守る。さあ、耐えられるかしら。
Iron Man. Ooh, Mecha Iron Man. And who's the girl is Miss Marvel, right? Yeah, that's Miss Marvel. Oh yeah, that's day one right there. rewinding it? What? Wait.
プレイステーションの友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って、予定合わせて行ったんですけど、ちょっと飲んでる中で実はアークの方でマーベルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして。いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、世界的に本当に有名な IP ですし光栄だなと思いつつも、まず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなという不安もあり。
Yep, Mrs. Marvel. Yeah, it looks good. Like I like the art, the animation art.
For working on this project really came from a place of pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space?
So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful stuff like the Marvel Spider-Man franchise with Insomniac.
When it came to approaching Marvel, you have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, we're thinking about approaching a company like Arc System Works to make a fighting game. We'd love to partner with you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested?
When they named the developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel, putting their own spin on it, and they're just uppercutting that challenge into the stratosphere. And that's what you get with this team. I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
社長からも本当に作れるんだったらぜひやりたいで。
Well, that was cool. I'm still disappointed that we didn't get like the Wolverine or Kingdom Hearts 4.
The tricky thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a
hell yeah
for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task, because you either do something like this big and bold, or you don't do it at all.
I feel like I have a good grasp on their art style and how they would approach certain IPs. You come in with your kind of own expectations of, here's what I would expect to see from Arc System Works when they take on a Marvel IP. And what came up was something that went beyond that.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、何がまずいのかなっていろいろやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember personally the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
なので今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければ分かると思うんですけども、かなり日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが、出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすこぶるよくて、あ、これなんだみたいないう感じで。
Iron Man is supposed to be the sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car mixed with a brick house. And the fact that they added anime mech elements to him just felt really naturally at home.
One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP but gameplay mechanics and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと。
When Arc looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go 4v4. And in doing so, we found a lot of unique and fun ways to change up the gameplay that I think players are going to be very excited to see.
今回4対4という革新的なところにチャレンジしている中で4キャラクター練習しないと勝てないんじゃないのとか安心してください。
Learning 4 characters is extremely daunting, but the team at Arc System Works has found a way to design a system that adapts to your playstyle. So you could either duke it out as just the leader and 3 assists, or you can tag in your assists to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know, this has just been an awesome journey, and I'm excited that we get to be able to share it with all the fans out there.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these 2 great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The 3 companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
Von Doom. They probably got time for one more announcement.
You're still with me?
Yeah, it's about to end. So the best thing they showed was Metal Gear, which they were showing us for like months already. So yeah, that was the highlight of this Snake Eater. Snake Eater in the Marvel fighting game. Those was the 2 highlights. What? Why? You don't have a you don't have a PS5, bro? Yeah, that's it. It's over. That sucked. It was okay, dog. Metal Gear was like the best. That was the highlight of it, Metal Gear. Well, there we have it, folks. PlayStation again with the disappointment, man. You know. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, man, you gotta get the PS5, bro. Especially the price about to hike too. So I think you should try to get one before that price go up. Oh yeah, the Predator movie comes out. The new Predator movie comes out on Friday. Yeah, Killer of Killers. Yeah, it's an animated movie. I'm gonna check that out. I had to go switch to for my next console. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Yeah, the next one is soon, pretty soon. I think next month. But man, I'm just disappointed because like right now they're supposed to do it today, bro. This is like Summer Game Fest. Like they already missed they mark at Gamescom, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even show up for Gamescom, you know? And so they were supposed to do like this is supposed to be they moment. Cause like now Xbox might, you know, I ain't gonna do front to you, bro. Like Xbox be coming through, bro. See, that's why like I don't stick to one. Like everybody picks sides. You know, Dwayne, we play everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people like buy the Xbox and some people buy PlayStation. But you know, us true gamers, we buy everything, so we don't have to pick no sides, bro. But damn, bro, like I was expecting more from Xbox this time. Not Xbox, PlayStation this time around. Cause, bro, you know, this is like this time of year is this. Come on, man, you got to come out swinging this time of year. Like, remember this it used to be E3, so you had to come out swinging, man. You know, But it's just like, damn, bro. Like I don't know who the hell over there in they marketing department and shit. Like and the higher ups that's picking the games to like reveal. Like, bro, shit, man. Like the Marvel game was cool. It's cool, bro. Getting a new fighting IP, a Marvel fighting IP, bro. You know, through someone else besides Capcom. You know, but damn, bro, like they sitting on game, bro. They, like the Pratt and Rabbit game, bro. They premiered that 5 years ago, bro. Like they supposed to been put that game out. Yeah. There's great games on. All, yeah, you're right. But bro, like the game they showed Paramount with the astronaut guy with the little girl, bro. They premiered that trailer for that game way back in 2020, like when they revealed the same event, the same event as the PS5 reveal, bro. Like 5 years ago, bro. Like what like. Yo, what I get it, bro. Like it takes a long time to develop games, bro. But jeez Louise, bro. Bro, yeah, Xbox, they might announce like their new console or handheld, I believe, bro. Like Friday, because they did. A leak did show like that. Their next console is gonna have like it's gonna be integrated with Steam. You know, it was leaked like the what they call it, the dashboard interface of Xbox. The new Xbox had leaked online. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm disappointed, bro. Like like Inferno said, Wolverine 2029, bro. At this point, like sucks, man. Even like, bro, they just revealed screenshots of Kingdom Hearts 4. Why not show that, bro? Like, if y'all putting out screenshots, well, not them, of course, Square Enix did, but I don't get it, bro. Damn, bro, like, I was super stoked, man. Super stoked to see what they was gonna do today. So now we got Xbox at 5 p.m. No, I think theirs early. Hold on, let me see. I think their event is early. Let me see. Let me check. Let me see. I had that. Let me see. Xbox. Xbox hiking up them prices. The event might be longer because Xbox, because they doing a showcase and then they doing the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. The first Outer Worlds was cool. Okay, theirs is at 1 p.m. on Friday. Is it Friday? No, I don't think it's. Is it? No, it's not Friday. Hold on. They changed the day of the thing, I think. Let me see. No, there's no way. There's a Sunday. They switched it from Friday to Sunday? Wow. This can't be right. I'm pretty sure I seen. Yeah, they switched it from Friday to Sunday. So, Xbox, their event is on Sunday. Damn, that's crazy. IGN. Let me see what's next coming up. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it was definitely Friday. Their event was Friday because I had marked it. Damn, that's crazy. Okay. So I guess Sunday. That's Sunday, but I'm gonna be streaming the other events that's going on for summer game. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. Cause I know there's other events going on. Okay, so what's today? Today is the 4th. Tomorrow they have. Oh yeah, tomorrow they have the actual. No, not tomorrow. Yeah, Friday they have the actual. That's why they pushed it back, cause the actual summer game fest, the actual. So we may get okay. Yeah, we might get what is this? Oh, this is the commercial that they play. Yeah, we might get some stuff, some more PlayStation stuff. What you call it? All right, for sure, bro. Already, man. Thank you, bro. Yo, enjoy the Nintendo Switch too, bro. I'm gonna tap in at 1 p.m. tonight, bro. I'm gonna tap into your stream. But yeah, I'm about to be out too, man. I gotta prep, get dinner ready. But shout out to everybody that tuned in. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm out, man. Yeah. Tomorrow we back at it tomorrow. They have more events going on tomorrow, and then definitely Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time.